and spoke with confidence. "Dad, we know what to do, let's try it." "Okay. Come one by one. But be careful." As he spoke, Yi Xian adjusted the height of the pole for the children, and then watched as the children started jumping one by one. Yi Jing was the first one. She kept Yi Xian's words in mind all the time. She first took a running start, then jumped up quickly and successfully jumped behind the pole. Of course, this is also because Yi Xian adjusted the height for them to be very low, so that they can build up their self-confidence step by step. "Very good, keep going." The girls behind watched Yi Jing jump over smoothly, and they also became energized as if they were given an injection of chicken blood. They jumped over one after another. "Not bad, your movements are all good, but they're still not very smooth." Yi Xian nodded in appreciation. The children did learn quite well, but there was still a little gap. After that, Yi Xian adjusted the poles for the children one by one, and the height of the poles began to get higher and higher, but the children did not feel tired at all and were very enthusiastic. "Alright girls, let's take a break. You've all learned really well." After a while, Yi Xian saw that the children began to breathe heavily, so he asked them to stop first. "Girls, come drink some warm water and take a rest first. Mom will wipe your sweat off." At this time, Wang Xinyao also brought water to the children and wiped the sweat off their faces one by one. "Dad, can you teach us how to run again?" During the break, the children did not intend to sit idle and began to ask Yi Xian about the tips of running. "Well, let me think about it." Yi Xian smiled bitterly as he looked at the girls' eager eyes. He no longer needed skills and didn't know how to teach them for a moment. After all, isn't it more direct and efficient to break all laws with one force than any other techniques? "Okay, Dad will teach you some tricks, so please listen carefully." After careful recollection, Yi Xian finally remembered some of the so-called techniques and said them to the little guys. "First of all, you should try to make the sound of your running as quiet as possible. The louder the sound of your footsteps, the greater the body's cushioning ability. If this continues for a long time, it will cause considerable damage to your knees. Of course, warming up is a must. The second thing is to pay attention to your running posture. Try to relax your body, raise your calves, curl your toes, and make sure your center of gravity is directly below your body. Then there's the issue of breathing. Only those who know how to breathe can run. Having problems with breathing can easily lead to problems like fatigue and stitches in the side. Just breathe through your nose, exhale after 3 steps, and inhale after 3 steps. As Yi Xian explained, a few little ones clumsily learned the postures and mastered them quite quickly. Then, based on Yi Xian's different adjustments, they learned how to run systematically. "Dad, let's go out for a run." Yi Jing and the others looked at Yi Xian with great energy, and they couldn't wait to use the running knowledge they had just learned to go for a run outside. "Okay, then let's run around the villa." Seeing that the children were so motivated, Yi Xian certainly couldn't refuse, and he took the girls for a short run around the villa. Wang Xinyao couldn't do strenuous exercise now, but she also watched from the side, cheering and encouraging the children. "I'm so tired. Dad, we should take a break." Finally, after running for a while, the children began to feel tired and pulled Yi Xian to lie down on the cushion. "Mom will come and rest with you for a while too." Wang Xinyao also lay down beside him, and the family gazed at the blue sky above their heads, with a smile on their faces. "Dad, we have a sports meet in a few days, will you and Mom come?" Yi Shi curled up in Yi Xian's arms, looking at him expectantly. The other girls were also looking at him, blinking at Yi Xian. "Of course, Dad and Mom will go then." Holding the little ones in his arms, Yi Xian smiled dotingly, and the children were even happier. The fatigue after the intense exercise just now seemed to have disappeared. In the next few days, the little guys were much busier than before. Not only did they have to take care of the injured bird, they also had to train for the sports meet in a few days, and of course they also had to go to school. Chapter 431 Release. Even so, the children did not feel tired at all. Instead, they felt fulfilled and even slept much better. Finally, it was the morning when the sports meeting was about to begin. Wang Xinyao was still sleeping with the children, but Yi Xian woke up early. He did not disturb the children in Wang Xinyao's rest, but quietly went to the kitchen alone, started cooking, made breakfast and lunch for the children and Wang Xinyao, and also baked a lot of desserts and snacks in the oven. Today is the day the children have been looking forward to the most recently. Xiaoyao's injury has almost healed, and the preparations for the sports meet are going quite smoothly. Under Yi Xian's special training, their results in running, high jump, and rope skipping have all improved significantly. Sizzle! The food in the hot pot gradually emits an enticing aroma as the temperature and seasonings perfectly blend together, and the tiny factors that make it up are rippling in the kitchen. At this time, the sky outside was still pitch black. Only the street lights in the kitchen where Yi Xian was were lit in the entire manner. The rest of the place was still quiet. Time passed by minute by minute. Yi Xian kept the prepared breakfast warm. As for the lunchboxes, he placed them one by one in the insulated lunchbox. Other desserts and snacks were also prepared. Inside the room, the children woke up rubbing their sleepy eyes. The sky outside was turning pale and the sun was rising slowly. It looked like it would be a good day. We should get up. Today is our sports day. Yi Jing suddenly remembered that today was a sports meeting, and she woke up instantly and quickly woke up her sisters. Great! The sports meet is finally here. Yeah. Dad's got up and gone out. Mom, you have to get up today, you have to accompany us to the sports meeting. Several little guys jumped up from the bed and woke up Wang Xinyao. They changed their clothes together, opened the door and walked out. It smells so good. Your dad prepared delicious food for you early in the morning. As soon as she walked outside, Wang Xinyao smelled the fragrance coming from the kitchen, and she smiled and rubbed the faces of the little ones. It smells so good. I need to go check it out. It makes me hungry. Dad is so nice. Hey, I'll go to the kitchen and try it. At this moment, the little guys were completely awakened by the temptation of food. Their eyes were wider than each other, and they were eager to go down. No. You haven't washed up yet. Follow Mom to wash your face and brush your teeth first. Wang Xinyao, who was standing nearby, quickly stopped these greedy little cats and reluctantly led them to wash up. After she had tied their hair up one by one, she let them go to eat. Girls are up, come and eat. Just at this time, Yi Xian had already placed all the prepared breakfast on the dining table. As for the lunchbox, it was also placed in an insulated lunchbox and packed together in an insulated bag. Other desserts and snacks were also packed. Thank you, Dad. You've worked hard. It smells so good. What's delicious? Mom, come and eat. The children couldn't wait any longer and quickly called Wang Xinyao to eat together and enjoy this rich and nutritious breakfast. After breakfast, the children changed into light sportswear and followed Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao to the school. Many other parents did the same, making the entrance of the elementary school, which was usually busy, even more crowded. When going out, the children did not forget to take the bird with them. They put it in a small cage, preparing to release it on the school playground today. The little guy has now fully recovered, fluttering around in the cage full of energy, and all his previous wounds have healed. Although the girls were reluctant to let go of the cute little bird, they knew in their hearts that the bird belonged to the blue sky, to nature, and had the freedom they longed for. So, taking advantage of the sports meet, the children also had an extra special and meaningful thing to do. However, in the car, they were all holding the cages reluctantly and saying goodbye to the birds. Finally, after a while, everyone arrived at the gate of the elementary school. The children took the bird to the classroom first, and Yi Xian took Wang Xinyao to the playground, where they happened to meet the old principal who was busy. Mr. Yi. You are here. Seeing Yi Xian coming, the old principal hurried over to greet him and said hello respectfully. Thank you for your hard work, old principal. Don't worry about us, just go and do your work. That won't work. Mr. Yi, since you are here, let me take you there. Well then, thank you for your hard work, principal. Yi Xian smiled and waved his hand, but the old principal still insisted on sending Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao to the stands and take their seats. After doing all this, he left with satisfaction. At the same time, several little ones also came into the classroom. Along with the chirping sounds of the birds in the cage, the other children all came over. Wow! Yi Jing Yi Shi. This is the little bird you were talking about. It's so cute, so small and exquisite. I really want to touch it. Its feathers are so beautiful. Sister Yi Jing, wasn't Xianyou injured before? Is he okay now? The children were all looking at the little bird excitedly and loved it very much. They were also concerned about the bird's injuries. They had also heard Yi Jing and others talk about this little bird in the past few days. Hey, don't worry, the bird's injuries have healed. Let's release it back into the blue sky together later. Yi Jing smiled, and the bird in the cage was looking at the children curiously. Its cute appearance attracted all the children in the classroom to gather together and observe it closely. Children, we can gather at the playground now. The sports meet is about to begin. At this time, the head teacher walked into the classroom. Because there was a teacher competition today, the classroom was also changed to a sports meeting. He came in and reminded the children. Got it, teacher. Let's go now. Great. The sports meet is about to officially begin. Let's go quickly, we just released the bird. When Yi Jing and several other girls heard the teacher's reminder, they all rushed outside and came to the playground together. At this time, the playground was already bustling with people coming and going. The stands were full of teachers and parents, and many teachers were setting up the competition venue. Hee. It's so lively. Let's release the birds here. Chapter 432 Competition. Yi held the cage and giggled, then gently put the cage on the ground and opened the door. The bird in the cage looked at the open door curiously, then raised its head to glance at the sky above, seemed to understand something, and slowly walked out. The children gathered around, holding their breath and watching the bird's every move without blinking. After the little guy jumped out of the cage, he didn't fly away in a hurry. He first flapped his wings and circled over the children's heads for a while, and finally landed on Yi Jing's shoulder. Chirp! The little guy stepped lightly on Yi Jing's shoulders, as if to thank the girls for their recent care for it. In order not to scare the bird, the children did not make any sound, but just watched silently. After a while, Yi Jing felt a breeze blowing by his ears. The bird had now flown into the blue sky, soaring freely. Bye, little birdie. We'll miss you. Little bird, do you still remember our home? Come back to see us. I really don't want to let it go, but I still like watching it flying in the sky. A few little ones were calling out to the bird, and the other kids behind them were waving goodbye to the bird. This may seem childish to adults, but it is so sincere to these children. On the stands, Zhou Xiaodan's parents were also walking over. Zhou Shang saw Yi Xian and Wang Xinyo and quickly stepped forward to say hello. Mr. Yi, Ms. Wang, you are here so early. We are here with the children. Come sit together, brother Zhou. There are still empty seats here. Yi Xian smiled and invited Zhou Shang and his wife to take a seat together. The sports meeting was about to officially begin. The old principal, neatly dressed, walked to the microphone on the stage and began his speech before the opening ceremony. Dear parents, teachers, and dear students, our annual sports meeting is about to begin. Today is destined to be an extraordinary day. Our students will sweat profusely on the field, fighting for the glory of the class and their own achievements. The principal would like to congratulate you in advance, and hope you can show your spirit and style in the competition. Next, we will proceed to the first event of the sports meeting, the opening ceremony. Please invite the young athletes from each class to come on stage, so that everyone present can appreciate your style together. As soon as the principal finished speaking, a melodious and passionate march lingered in the playground, and children from all grades and classes walked across the stands under the guidance of their teachers. Many of the children's parents also took out their mobile phones with a smile to record this precious moment for their children. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyo were sitting in the front of the stands, surrounded by Zhou Shang and other parents. When they passed by Yi Jing's class, they saw their parents at the first moment. However, at this time, Yi Jing and the other girls were busy shouting the slogans unique to their class, so they had no time to greet Yi Xian and the others, but they still winked at them for a long time. Ah, these little guys are so cute. Wang Xinyo was taking pictures of the children and happened to capture their funny expressions, which made her laugh too. Yes, the spirited look of the children today also reminds us of the past. Yi Xian sat next to Wang Xinyo and couldn't help but sigh. The past 10 years passed by so quickly and he didn't know how many stories he had experienced that ordinary people could not imagine. The carefree days in elementary school also felt more and more distant. However, today is a very significant sports meeting for the children. Yi Xian does not have the time or the desire to be sentimental. He is just looking forward to the scene of the children's next competition. After a few days of training, the children have become more and more confident and have been eager to hold the sports meeting. Soon after the opening ceremony, the children successfully entered their first competition event, the women's 400-meter long-distance race. Under the teachers' organization and arrangement, several girls also put their respective numbers on their sportswear. Although the competition has not officially started yet, they have not forgotten Yi Xian's words and started warming up on the spot. These little guys, remember to warm up. Yi Xian originally wanted to go over and remind them, but when he saw that the children had already started warming up, he felt happy and sat down with peace of mind. On the track here, several groups have already been competing. The head teacher is also accompanying them personally. Seeing that the time is almost up, he stepped forward to remind the children. Yijing, Yishi, it's your turn, hurry up. Okay, teacher. A few little guys nodded, and then stood on their own tracks according to the instructions, getting into the standard starting position. Ha! Is that so standard? The physical education teacher next to him was about to fire the starting gun, but when he saw the starting postures of the girls, he was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that they could do it so standardly. Bang! Then, after the physical education teacher reacted a little, he subconsciously pulled the starting gun, and Yi Jing and several other girls and other children also ran forward quickly. Yi Jing and Yi Shi. Come on, guys. Xiaxia, Xiaoyun, Xiaozi, come on. You are the best. Keep going. Next to the track, the children who did not participate in the competition were not idle either. They acted as cheerleaders, cheering for Yi Jing and others. After all, the girls had received special training from Yixian in running, so their speed was quite fast and their steps were light. And because of the standard execution of the starting movements, they surpassed the other children a lot at the beginning. Then, the girls remembered to control their breathing, and the distance between them and the other children began to gradually widen, and finally they crossed the finish line one after another. Wow! The monitors are so awesome. Yes. At this rate, we will definitely be able to reach the finals easily. So fast, how did they do it? The children were stunned watching from the side. They felt that in just these few short days, Yi Jing and the other girls seemed to have made great progress, which was completely different from their previous performance in physical education class. Yi Xian and Wang Xinya were watching from the platform and were also proud of the children's performance. It seemed that the training over the past few days was very useful. As for the children, the competition was still going on. Yi Jing and several other girls advanced directly into the finals with their excellent results and took the top 5 places. During the finals, the poles and mats for the high jump competition had already been set up in the center of the playground. After the children finished running, they continued to participate in the high jump competition. Chapter 433 Prizes. Regarding high jump, this is an item that the girls have been focusing on training in recent days. Now they can't wait to give it a try and see what kind of result they can achieve. Next, Yi Xia. Okay. The teacher arranged the girls' names according to the name list and soon it was their turn. Yi Xia was the first one. She walked forward, took a deep breath, and then ran and jumped in one go, jumping over the railing in a beautiful posture. Is this an elementary school student? The physical education teacher who was holding a list and recording the results at the side looked at it blankly, exclaimed and wiped his sweat, thinking that although the height was not high, the posture was too standard. From the run-up to the jump, the level of fluency displayed by Yi Xia is simply not something that an elementary school student could achieve. The only ones who can do that are those kids in sports schools or gymnastics teams. Next, Yi Shi. Surprised, the PE teacher recorded the results. The next one was Yi Shi's turn, followed by the other girls. But as the girls' performances were shown to the physical education teacher one after another, he became completely confused. The performances of Yi Jing and the other girls were more standard and fluent than each other. That's amazing. What kind of family education did this kid get? He's so good at running and high jumping. The physical education teacher was deeply shocked. He couldn't quite believe that this was really the level of those little guys. But unfortunately, it was right in front of him and he couldn't help but believe it. On the parents' stand, many of them stood up and applauded and cheered for the girls' wonderful performances. Oh my god. These little cuties are so amazing. That high jump just now was so beautiful, so great. It seems that the top 3 were also created by these girls. This is a dimensionality reduction attack. On this side, Zhou Shang, who was sitting next to Yi Xian, couldn't help but applaud and sigh to Yi Xian. Mr. Yi, Jingjing and the others were taught by you personally, right? I really admire you. It's nothing. They are still children and like to jump around. I just let them exercise a little more. Yi Xian smiled and waved his hands. Although he said this, he was sincerely happy and proud. After all, these were his own children. Just now, his attention was all on the little guys. Dad. We're back. After a while, Yi Jing led a few little guys and trotted towards Yi Xian. Now it was lunchtime, and many events would be held in the afternoon. You guys are awesome today, come sit down and take a rest, we can prepare to eat. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao smiled dotingly, handed the children water cups and towels, and then opened the lunchboxes. Finally, I can see what delicious food Dad made. Yeah, I'm hungry today too. I've just finished 3 projects. Hee hee, I am very tired, but very happy. Sitting between Yi Xian and his friend, the children excitedly talked about today's game and were also looking forward to the lunch Yi Xian would prepare. It smells so good. Dad made so many delicious things. As soon as they opened the lunchboxes, the children smelled a refreshing fragrance. What was inside were all carefully prepared by Yi Xian for the children. There were garlic mashed seasonal vegetables, abalone sauce chicken, and hot seaweed egg drop soup. The little ones were drooling at the sight. Okay, you're all hungry, eat quickly, because you still have a game in the afternoon. Wang Xinyao took out tableware for the children with a smile. The children had already been tempted and started eating with big mouthfuls. It's delicious. It's great to have a meal cooked by my dad after exercise. Hee hee, Mom and Dad, come and eat. Now we have the energy to continue the game in the afternoon, that's great. After that, the children quickly finished their lunch, but when they were cleaning up, they saw that Yi Xian had brought a lot of baked desserts and snacks, and they looked at Yi Xian eagerly. Ha, you little greedy cats, these are of course for you. Looking at the little eyes of the girls, Yi Xian nodded with a smile but still did not forget to remind them. But this isn't all for you to eat. You have to share it with your friends. Got it? Yeah, I got it, Dad. Several girls nodded heavily, then picked up the desserts and snacks and distributed them to the children in their class. The children were in a very happy mood during the relaxing afternoon with the delicious desserts made by Yi Xian and sharing them with their friends. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao sat together and watched this scene with a smile, and also took out their cameras to record it. Afternoon, the sports meet continued and the remaining events ended one after another, until finally the most grand award ceremony arrived. The principal stood on the stage, holding the list of award winners in his hand, and continued to speak enthusiastically. Dear parents and teachers, dear students, I want to thank you for sticking with us until now. Our sports meet has finally come to an end. Today, the students in our school have given me many surprises. In addition to their bravery and perseverance, many outstanding athletes have emerged in this sports meet. What I have in my hand now is the list of winners of this sports meet. Before announcing the list of winners, let us give these students our warmest applause. Wah 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 wah. At this moment, the whole place was filled with thunderous applause, and then the principal began to announce the list and prepare to award the children. This? However, as the principal announced one project after another, the names of Yi Jing and several other girls frequently appeared on the list, and they won all the awards for any project they participated in. This is worthy of being Mr. Ye's child. It's amazing. The principal couldn't help but sigh in his heart. As expected, the children raised by such a family will definitely not be bad. Dad, we are going upstairs to receive the award. Mom and Dad, come with us. I'm so happy. We won a prize too. On the stands, a few little ones happily listened to their names being called out from the loudspeaker, and were about to go up to the stage to receive their awards, pulling Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao over with them. Well, let's go. You girls must not be blindly arrogant. You must continue to work hard. Got it? I know, Dad. We will keep working hard. As they spoke, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao brought the children to the podium in the middle. The principal looked at the little ones coming up, and personally put medals on them one by one, and presented them with certificates and prizes. Chapter 434 Atmosphere. You little girls are really good. The principal is proud of you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Principal Grandpa, we got it. The children held their medals, nodded heavily, with happy smiles on their faces, and tightly grasped the certificates and prizes in their hands. Unlike other things, these are obtained through their sweat and have different meanings. Girls, look at the camera. Daddy will take a picture of you. Yi Xian in the audience also took out his camera and waved to the children. The children noticed the camera and stood in a row, wearing medals and holding prizes, and smiled at the camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3, eggplant. Click. Yi Xian pressed the shutter, and the children's smiles were frozen in the camera. The scene was also filled with a happy atmosphere. At this time, on the other side, several teachers were sitting in the stands, also looking at the little ones who were receiving the awards, and couldn't help but ask the school executives around them. Director Ma, what are the names of these children? What age and class are they in? They are definitely good seedlings. The teacher who asked the question said excitedly that they were the sports team teachers invited to this sports meeting. From the beginning of the sports meeting, they were deeply attracted by the performance of the little ones. With their performance like this, they have already surpassed their peers by a lot. If they could join their sports team for training, they would definitely be top-notch talents. This, Teacher Son, what do you mean? The school leader looked at him in confusion. Could it be that he suddenly asked this question because he valued his talent? Ha, I'm not afraid of you making fun of me, Director Ma. We also have our eyes on these kids and want to see if we can have them train with us. The physical education teacher did not hide anything and spoke directly about his thoughts. In fact, he came here not only as a guest, but also to discover children with potential. Because if athletes want to move up to professional sports, they have to receive training from a young age, and now is the best time. Is that so? Teacher Son, I'm afraid you can't get what you want. These children are different from the other children. The school's top management smiled bitterly and shook their heads, leaving the physical education teacher confused, and he spoke tentatively. Director Ma, are you worried about the training fees? If these children's families are in financial difficulty, we can try to get subsidies. Forehead. Hearing this, the school's top management couldn't help but wipe their sweat and said helplessly. You misunderstood, Teacher Son. These children are exactly the opposite of what you think. Their father is the parent who donated 100 million to our school some time ago. Families like this don't lack money, but they are unlikely to send their children to sports teams. You know how tiring it is, right? What? Boom. Hearing this, the physical education teachers were shocked, their mouths opened wide, and stormy waves rose in their hearts. 100 million? Their father donated 100 million to the school. Yes, and if you often go to the gate of our school, you will see that their father usually drives a customized extended version of Rolls-Royce to pick up the children. The school leaders spoke word by word, and every word struck the hearts of several physical education teachers. The thoughts they had just had also disappeared at this moment. Are you kidding? Let us not talk about whether such a family would send their children to a sports team to suffer. Moreover, they just want their children to go into sports. With such conditions, why would they choose them? If someone can donate 100 million yuan casually, it is impossible to find a coach of any level. It is just to build a training ground for children. Isn't that also casual? Director Ma, forget it, just pretend we didn't say anything just now. Thinking about this in his mind, the physical education teacher quickly shook his head. There was nothing he could do. Even if they were good seedlings, it would never be their turn. Here, after the award ceremony, the sports meet was considered over. The little ones looked at their prizes and medals happily, feeling very happy. Yi Jing, Yishi, Yixia, congratulations, your performance today was really great. At this time, Zhou Xiaodan also came over with a smile and congratulated the little guys on their performance today. Hey, thank you, Xiaodan. By the way, Xiaodan, since we have nothing else to do right now, why don't you come over to our house and play? Let's go, Xiaodan. You haven't been to our house to play for a long time. How about we go back together today? The children thanked Zhou Xiaodan and enthusiastically invited Zhou Xiaodan to visit them at home. Well, sure, I'll ask my dad first. Speaking of going out to play together, Zhou Xiaodan was also eager to try, but he first found his father Zhou Shang and asked him what he thought. Dad, can I go to Uncle Yi's house and play with Yi Jing and the others? Here, Zhou Shang was chatting with Yi Xian. After hearing what Zhou Xiaodan said, he smiled and nodded. Okay, go play. When you come back, just call Dad. As he said that, Zhou Shang smiled embarrassedly and said to Yi Xian beside him. Hey, Mr. Yi, I have to trouble you again. Brother Zhou, don't say that. Xiaodan is very obedient and gets along well with the girls. As long as Xiaodan wants to come and play, she can come anytime. After everything was arranged, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao brought the children back to the villa. It was now evening. Okay, you girls go play by yourselves first, Daddy will go cook for you. After returning home, Yi Xian saw that it was almost time for dinner, so he prepared to cook first and let the children play outside by themselves. Okay, Dad. The children agreed, carefully put away their medals, and then started to have fun in the living room. After playing with the little black cat for a while, the children felt a little bored and prepared to find something fun. Hey, how about we play poker? Yi Xia's eyes lit up, and she remembered that there were playing cards at home. The other girls nodded when they heard this. Okay. Let's play poker. Poker is fun, and there are many ways to play it. Great. Let's go play. Speaking of playing poker, Joe Xiaodan agreed, but suddenly thought of a problem. But what shall we bet on? Block it. What are you blocking? Chapter 435 Knowing My Mistake. Yi Jing and the other girls looked at Zhou Xiaodan in confusion, not quite understanding what the word meant. It's not blocking. It's betting. I've seen the God of Gamblers movie before. They use money to play poker. Whoever loses has to give the money to others. So that's how it is. But we don't have any money. The children now understood and nodded, but they didn't have any money and didn't know what to use as a bet. How about this? How about we use chocolate? Zhou Xiaodan smiled slightly and proposed to use chocolate as a bet. Chocolate. That's a great idea. Then let's use chocolate. Come on, I can't wait. As they talked, the children hit it off immediately, found the playing cards and their favorite chocolates, and sat down to play poker with great interest. After a while, Yi Xian prepared the meal and was about to come out to call the children to eat, but he saw the children playing poker. These girls were pretty quiet when they were playing poker. Wait, what does chocolate mean? As they watched, Yi Xian suddenly frowned, untied his apron, walked over and asked the little guys. You girls, just play poker. What are you doing with all those chocolates? Dad, this is our bet. Because we have no money, we can only use this as a bet. Dad, do you want to play with us? It's so much fun. Hearing this, Yi Xian's mouth twitched slightly, and he thought to himself, how come these little guys have learned this trick? Ahem. Listen to what Dad is telling you. You can play poker in the future, but just play with your friends. You must not go out and gamble. Gambling is a losing game. No matter what you do, you can't win. Do you understand? The children in Zhou Xiaodan listened to Yi Xian talking about this, but they still didn't quite understand and continued speaking in confusion. But Dad, when we were playing with chocolate just now, it felt like we were giving and taking. Yeah, Dad, isn't this too much of an exaggeration? Why is it that 9 out of 10 people lose when gambling? Do 9 out of 10 people who gamble lose? Looking at the children with puzzled faces, Yi Xian remained patient and asked in a different way. So you all think that playing poker is all about luck, right? Aha! The children nodded, and so did Zhou Xiaodan, all of whom thought it was a matter of luck. Okay, let Daddy teach you a lesson today. Yi Xian was watching and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He simply sat down, picked up the playing cards and started to shuffle them fluently. Now look at me, is there anything wrong with the movements I made? While shuffling the cards, Yi Xian asked the little guys, and his movements slowed down a lot. Dad, we looked carefully, there is no problem. The children didn't even blink and didn't notice any problem at all, but Yi Xian showed a smile. Okay, so what's next? As he spoke, Yi Xian randomly pulled out a few cards, quickly placed them on the table, and waved to the children. Now turn it over and see if there are any problems. The children nodded and slowly turned over the 4 cards. However, the next second, they were all stunned. These cards, without exception, are all A's. 4 A's are neatly placed in front of the children. That's amazing. Dad is amazing. How did Uncle Yi do this? We didn't understand it just now. Dad, can you teach me? This is so cool. Listening to the children's words, Yi Xian was even more helpless. What on earth were these little guys thinking? Did they think he was performing a magic trick for them? Okay, be serious. You saw those 4 aces, right? Do you understand what it means to lose 9 out of 10 bets? Looking at Yi Xian's serious expression, the children were also very smart. They reacted quickly and nodded heavily. Yeah, we get it, Dad. Dad, we were wrong. We will never play games with stakes again. Uncle Yi, I know it too. I was the one who brought it up just now. I was wrong. Looking at the attitudes of the maids, Yi Xian was satisfied and took the children to eat. The dinner in the evening was still very rich. Since Xiaodan came over, Yi Xian also cooked a few more dishes. The combination of exquisite plating and delicious dishes made the little ones drool. It's delicious, Uncle Yi's cooking skills are the best. Zhou Xiaodan, who hadn't tasted Yi Xian's cooking for a long time, ate it with big mouthfuls, praising Yi Xian's cooking skills, and was also extremely envious in his heart. Yi Jing and her friends can eat such delicious food every day. It is simply the happiest thing in the world. You're welcome, Xiaodan. Eat more and come visit us more often when you have time. Yi Xian said happily, and then put a lot of dishes into Zhou Xiaodan's bowl. The little guys followed suit and continued to put dishes for Zhou Xiaodan. Eat more, Xiaodan. Our dad's cooking is delicious. Yes, Xiaodan, you must come and play with us more often. That's right, we all welcome you. As a result, the amount of food in Zhou Xiaodan's bowl increased, and it piled up like a small mountain. The other little guys, however, got a burst of energy from somewhere and rushed to put food into their bowls. In the end, they all ate too much without realizing it. After the meal, the little guys covered their stomachs and burped softly, while the food on the table had been eaten up completely. I'm so full, my stomach feels so full. I haven't eaten so much in a long time. The food my dad cooks is so delicious. But eating too much is also very uncomfortable. My stomach is so bloated that I don't even want to move. Here, several little guys collapsed on the sofa, holding their stomachs. Yi Xian looked on helplessly. They were really tired from today's sports meeting, and they couldn't eat like this. Girls, Daddy will take you to the gym to exercise. Otherwise, you won't be able to sleep at night if you are like this. As he spoke, Yi Xian took the children to the gym in the villa. Although it was a private gym, it had quite complete facilities and was even more professional than the commercial gyms outside. From treadmills and elliptical machines to various body shaping equipment, as well as bench press racks, squat racks, and other strength equipment, the whole place is a paradise for sports enthusiasts. Even Wang Xinyao came to the gym and did some simple exercises on the yoga mat in the body shaping area. Dad, what are we going to play? There are so many things here. Chapter 436 Don't Catch a Cold. However, the little ones didn't know much about the gym, so they had to ask Yi Xian for help. After thinking about it for a while, Yi Xian took the children to the treadmills and spinning bikes. Just do this, it's a little simpler, Dad will teach you how to use it, just take your time. Yi Xian purchased many of these instruments as children's models, which are more suitable for the body shapes of the little ones and are not too complicated to operate. Yi Jing, several girls, and Zhou Xiaodan were listening to Yi Xian's explanation with great interest. They were quite smart and quickly learned how to use these instruments. The speed of the equipment was adjusted to a moderate level, and the girls began to jog on it, blinking their eyes with excitement. They loved these machines very much. Wow! This is so fun! I can run on the spot. This screen above can also record our running time. How interesting! Exercise makes me feel good, and my stomach feels much better. Yi Xian stood aside and watched for a while. After making sure that the children knew how to use the equipment and that it was safe, he walked to the dumbbell rack on the other side with confidence. It's been a while since I've used these things. Looking at the dumbbell rack in front of him, Yi Xian smiled with emotion. At first, he also liked to do some strength training in the gym, but later on, it seemed that there was no need for it. Yi Xian skillfully lifted the dumbbells, holding one in each hand, and started doing dumbbell curls, a golden exercise for training the biceps. In front of Yi Xian's powerful strength, the dumbbells were like cotton, and he couldn't feel any weight at all. He did it very easily throughout the whole process, and the fluency of his movements was as graceful as those of professional bodybuilders. But at this time, a few little guys began to watch secretly and talk in low voices. Look, Dad is playing with that heavy thing. Wow! Dad is so awesome. We couldn't even lift it just now. Hee hee, but it looks like fun, I want to go check it out. Yi Jing laughed and thought this was very interesting, so she trotted over to Yi Xian, looked at him eagerly, and then opened her little hands. This is... Seeing Yi Jing's actions, Yi Xian was just slightly stunned, then he reacted and gently put down the dumbbell in his hand. Come on, hold on tight. Yi Xian understood what was going on and stretched out his arms with a smile, allowing Yi Jing to hold his arms and then lift them up. Ah, this is so fun, Dad is so awesome. Feeling the sensation of climbing up and down in the air, Yi Jing's laughter suddenly resounded throughout the gym. I want one too. I'm coming, Dad. It looks like fun, I'd like to have fun too. This is so interesting. Dad, wait for me. Here, the other girls also found it fun, and they all ran over, opening their arms like Yi Jing had just done, and they all wanted Yi Xian to play with them. You little guys, do you think your daddy is a toy? Yi Xian looked at the little guys who were very interested in the game with a smile and tears in his eyes. He was helpless as to what to do with them. Were they here to exercise or to play? Dad, Sister Jingjing can do it, so we want it too. Let's try it, Dad. It looks like real fun. Okay, Dad, let's just play around for a while. Then, the maid saw that Yixian seemed to disagree, and they either pulled Yixian's sleeves or hugged his thighs, and started to act coquettishly. Okay, Dad agrees. There's really nothing I can do about you. After all the trouble, Yixian really had no choice but to agree to the little girls. However, he only had 2 hands, so he could only hang on them to do squats, which looked ridiculous no matter how you looked at it. However, the little guys didn't think so. Their clear laughter like silver bells filled the air as Yixian squatted down, as if this place was no longer a gym, but a children's playground. It's so fun, we're flying. Come on, Dad. Do it 100 more times. Hoo, we're helping Dad exercise. The girls laughed happily, which also attracted Wang Xinyo, who was standing nearby. When she saw this funny scene, she also burst out laughing and said to Yixian, hubby, look at your exercise, it's a bargain for these girls. Hey, it seems like I'm bullying Dad a little bit. When the girls heard what Wang Xinyo said, they smiled with red faces, but it was so much fun that no one wanted to get off. Mom, do you want to try it too? It's really fun. Yi Xia poked out her little head and waved towards Wang Xinyo, wanting Wang Xinyo to hang on Yixian's arm with them. Okay, you girls, stop making things difficult for your dad. Wang Xinyo shook her head helplessly. These little guys were just daring. Now Yixian already had 3 of them on his hands. It had definitely become a playground for the children. After playing around for a while, the girls felt that they had almost digested it, although they were basically making things difficult for their father. However, Yixian was very busy. He played with the children in different ways and developed many family-style ways of exercising. He really racked his brains. However, time gradually became later and later. After playing for a while, Yixian took the children back to the courtyard villa in the villa and prepared to go to bed. Be good and lie down. Daddy will cover you with the quilt. Because he was afraid that the children would catch a cold, Yixian covered them with quilts after putting them to bed. No, it's too hot today, I can't stand it under the quilt. Dad, we don't want to cover ourselves with the quilt, it's too hot. This is in the house, it's okay, Dad. However, the little ones felt too hot and kicked the quilts away with their little feet. Be obedient. It's nighttime now and it's still very cold. What if you catch a cold? Yixian said seriously that it is no longer midsummer now. Although it is still very hot during the day, the temperature difference between day and night is large at the turn of the seasons, making it easiest to catch a cold. Dad, if we feel cold at night, we will cover ourselves. The girls pouted and still refused to cover themselves with the quilt. You guys really make Daddy not know what to say. Yixian smiled bitterly helplessly, he had no idea what to do with these little guys. He was reluctant to talk to them, nor to beat or scold them. But if he just let them do what they wanted, he was afraid they would catch a cold. Your father is right. Cover yourself up with blankets. There's an amusement park opening tomorrow. If you catch a cold, you won't be able to go. Chapter 437 Departure. Seeing this, Wang Xinyo, who was standing next to her, had to come up with a gentler approach and use the excuse of going out to play as an excuse. She originally thought that after hearing this, the children would all cover themselves with the quilts obediently. However, perhaps because they were too hot from playing in the gym just now, the children still refused to cover themselves with the quilts and said confidently, Mom and Dad, don't worry, we definitely won't catch a cold. Really, we haven't been sick with a cold in a long time, and we won't be this time. But we all feel hot, so we won't catch a cold, right? This time, Wang Xinyo was completely defeated and had to walk out of the maid's room with Yixian. These girls really can't explain the truth clearly. Wang Xinyo sighed with a wry smile, but Yixian smiled at her slowly. Don't worry, Xinyo. I have another way. Just watch me. What else can I do? I'll just have to come and check on you from time to time. Wang Xinyo still had little confidence. She had just said so much earnestly, but the little guys didn't listen. Is there any better way? Don't worry, Xinyo, I'll try and you'll know. Yixian grinned mysteriously, and gently walked to the door of the girl's room again. He pinched his pair of slender and warm fingers together, then put them to his mouth and took a deep breath. Hoo. Suddenly, a sound of wind burst out of Yixian's mouth that was so real that it could be mistaken for a real one. His superb ventriloquism skills made Wang Xinyo feel a little chill and she wrapped her clothes gently. Hubby, I didn't expect you to have this skill. Wang Xinyo watched this scene happily and was suddenly surprised. With such ventriloquism skills, the little guys were probably fooled. At this moment in the room, a few little guys kicked the quilt aside and were comfortably closing their eyes to prepare for sleep, but suddenly they heard a sound of wind coming from the door. Shoo! Did you hear that? There seems to be wind blowing outside. Yi Jing pricked up her ears and immediately recognized that it was the sound of the wind. The other girls also heard it clearly and said with a pout, "It sounds like the wind outside is very strong." Ah! Then this should be very cold. I think we should cover ourselves with the quilt, or we won't be able to play tomorrow. After saying that, the girls didn't dare to show off and wrap themselves up in blankets obediently, knowing that if they really caught a cold, they wouldn't be able to go anywhere tomorrow. At night, Yi Xian got up to go to the bathroom. Thinking about the maids, he decided to go and take a look. He gently opened the door and walked in. Yeah, it's okay. Seeing that the girls were all covered with quilts, Yi Xian felt relieved. He helped the children tuck in the quilts before going back to sleep. The next morning, it started to drizzle outside. The raindrops hit the ground and slowly woke the children up from their deep sleep. However, because of the blackout curtains, the children were still unaware of the weather outside. After rubbing their eyes and walking out, a few sleepy little ones came to the living room downstairs. Through the wide floor-to-ceiling windows, they could see clearly that it was raining outside. They woke up completely in an instant and felt a little lost. Ah! Why is it raining? It seems that I can't go today. I can only stay at home. What a shame, that club must be so much fun. Seeing this, Wang Xinyao covered her mouth and smiled, then walked over to the children and comforted them. It's safe. We can go. It's indoors anyway. It's okay. Really? That's great. Hearing this, the children's previous disappointment was instantly swept away, and they immediately became cheerful again. They walked up to Yi Xian and asked in a baby voice, "Dad, are you coming with us today?" "You guys go with Mom, Dad won't go today." "Yeah, we got it." The girls were much more sensible now. They nodded and agreed. After washing up and having breakfast, they prepared to go out. At this time, although Yi Xian did not plan to go, he carefully took out a few umbrellas from the umbrella stand. These were all small umbrellas, specially for children. The only difference is that these small umbrellas are printed with the Rolls-Royce logo and are custom made. Girls, take these umbrellas and go out. Hey, thanks, Dad. Goodbye, Dad. After taking the umbrellas, the children waved with a smile. After saying goodbye to Yi Xian, Tang Hao escorted them to the club. Here, not long after the children left, some other people came to the outside of the villa, wearing the same uniform, holding exquisitely packaged gift boxes in their hands, and knocked on the door. Here it comes. When Yi Xian heard the voice, he knew who was coming, so he quickly got up and walked to the door and opened it. "Mr. Yi, this is the gift you reserved, please sign for it." The leading delivery man handed over a delivery note, but when he saw Yi Xian, there was still shock in his eyes. He didn't expect that the male owner of this villa was so young. "Okay, thank you for your hard work." Yi Xian smiled politely, signed his name, and asked everyone to put the packed gifts in the house. Looking at the room full of gifts, Yi Xian could already imagine how excited the little ones would be when they saw these gifts, but after thinking it over, he decided to hide all the gifts in various places in the room. Only after doing all this did Yi Xian feel satisfied. After all, for children, the process of exploration and discovery is the happiest thing. It can also cultivate their patience and observation skills. So why not do it? Okay, now we just have to wait for the girls to come back. Yi Xian clapped his hands and sat on the sofa. Now he just had to wait for the children to come back and look for him. Just when Yi Xian finished his work, Tang Hao had already sent everyone to their destination. "Sister-in-law, when you are going back, please call me in advance and I will pick you up at the door." "Okay." Wang Xinyao nodded and smiled at the girls beside her. "Girls, why don't you thank your Uncle Tang Hao quickly?" "Hee, thank you Uncle Tang Hao, goodbye Uncle Tang Hao." The girls thanked Tang Hao obediently, then slowly got out of the car. The rain outside was still pouring down, so everyone had no choice but to hold up their umbrellas. As soon as they got off the bus, everyone could see the whole picture of the amusement club at a glance. It was a brand new building with many banners and colorful flags hanging around it, and some hot air balloons floating in the sky. It was obviously just opened. Although the decoration of the club is also luxurious, it also has some childishness. After all, it is a small world specially provided for children to play. The two different styles are integrated appropriately. Chapter 438 What's Wrong? This makes the club look very grand and is relatively attractive to children. Some of the designs have been carefully considered. Even Wang Xinyao nodded silently when she saw it. But girls' attention was also focused on it. As for other things, the area of this club is not small at all. It is a large castle-style building divided into many areas. It will take some time to explore them all. Although it is raining now, it cannot stop people's enthusiasm. Many parents still bring their children here early. The sound of rain and voices merge together, creating a bustling scene. After getting off the bus, the little ones looked at the architecture and decoration of the club while walking to the entrance of the club with umbrellas, and they couldn't wait to go in. Mom, it looks like so much fun in there, let's go in. Hey, I can't wait. I have to have a great time today. Maybe I'll get to know some other kids there, and it'll be fun to play together. The little ones chatted excitedly, holding Wang Xinyao's hand and preparing to go in, but a waiter in uniform stopped them. Miss, do you have an appointment? The waiter was very polite, but when he asked about the reservation, Wang Xinyao couldn't help but frown. Do we need to make an appointment here? This made Wang Xinyao very confused. She had never heard of the need to make an appointment before. How come this suddenly popped up now that she was already here? Excuse me, miss, we just opened here and many parents want to bring their children to play. It's just that there are too many people at once, and we also consider everyone's experience, so we set up a reservation system. I'm very sorry, Mississippi. I fully understand your desire to bring your children into play, but we just opened today and all aspects of the operation still need to be improved. I hope you can understand us. How about this, miss? You can reserve your phone number for me. If we don't have all the appointments today, I will contact you as soon as possible. What do you think? As he spoke, the waiter explained to Wang Xinyao, and on the basis of his apology, he also proposed a solution. Oh, I understand, but we are here in the rain now? Is there really no other solution? Hearing this, Wang Xinyao sighed. Although he could understand cooking, he didn't know why his face showed the children's disappointment. After all, this was something he had promised the children a long time ago. I'm really sorry, miss, I really can't find any other way. There are too many people opening today. If we let everyone in, it will cause inconvenience to others. The waitress shook her head helplessly. It was her job to do, and there was no way she could compromise. Otherwise, she couldn't bear to see Yi Jing and the other lovely girls looking so lost. What's going on? Is there something wrong? At this time, a lobby manager in a neat suit saw the scene here, walked over puzzledly, and asked about the situation here. Hello, manager. This lady is a guest, but unfortunately, she doesn't have a reservation. After listening to the waiter's explanation, an apologetic look appeared on the lobby manager's face, and he explained to Wang Xinyao. Alas, we really have no choice. Of course, we hope and are happy for you to come and patronize us, but there are too many customers before the opening, so we have to do this. You must make an appointment to enter. Oh well. Since that was what was said, Wang Xinyao had no choice but to agree. However, she was still struggling in her heart, not knowing how to face these girls. Mom, can we not go in? We can't go in and play without a reservation, right, Mom? So, are we going home then? At this time, the children held their small umbrellas and looked at Wang Xinyao, muttering. The excitement on their little faces were gone, replaced by loss and unhappiness, just as gloomy and dull as the sky now. Well. Wang Xinyao sighed deeply, not wanting to look directly into the children's eyes. But now that things had come to this, she could only turn back. At this time, the owner of the club personally welcomed many people in because of the opening. He always had a friendly smile on his face, and he looked quite high-spirited. After all, this was only the first day of opening and the business was already booming, which was exactly what he wanted to see. What's going on? Is the manager here too? But as the lobby manager also came over to Wang Xinyao and the others, the boss soon saw it. He didn't know what was going on, but based on the principle of doing things personally, he still came out. Manager, what's the problem? Why can't you let this lady and these kids in? When the manager and the waiter saw the boss coming, they quickly greeted him respectfully and then explained what had just happened. So that's how it is, I understand. The boss nodded after thinking for a moment and was about to step forward and say sorry, but when he glanced around, he suddenly saw the umbrellas in the children's hands and was immediately stunned. These are not ordinary umbrellas. Others may not be able to see it, but he knows it inside out. These are all Rolls-Royce customized umbrellas. Only customers who have purchased a customized Rolls-Royce model are eligible to customize them. Umbrellas like these cannot be counterfeited at all. There are very few people who can afford customized Rolls-Royce models, and these umbrellas are also customized according to the model and customer needs. So whether it is the low-key logo or the excellent material of the umbrella itself, these umbrellas are given different meanings. Each of these 5 little guys has an umbrella, which is simply terrifying. It looks like it was specially customized for the children. What kind of family can be so extravagant? For a moment, the boss was filled with shock. He had never seen such a scene before. Undoubtedly, how powerful the other party was could be seen from these umbrellas. This. The more he looked, the more frightened he became. The boss was almost unable to speak. He stared blankly at the umbrellas, which made the lobby manager and waiter beside him look confused. They simply could not understand what was wrong with their boss. Chapter 439 Security. Here, Wang Xinyao smiled bitterly and shook her head, thinking that she couldn't just stand here with the children, so she was about to prepare to leave with the children. Since they wouldn't let her in, she had no other choice. Now she could only take the girls somewhere else to have a look and see if she could make up for her regret for them. She knew the children's feelings very well and felt a little guilty. If I had paid more attention to the club's news before and hadn't missed the reservation process, there might not have been so many problems. Miss, please wait a moment, don't leave in a hurry. The boss saw Wang Xinyao was about to turn around and leave, so he hurriedly called Wang Xinyao and changed the subject. Miss, although there are indeed many people here when we open, this is originally open to children. These children are so cute, how can we turn them away? Now I'm in charge. You and the children don't need to make an appointment. I'm also sorry for wasting your time before. I hope you and the children can have more fun in our club. Miss, I'll take you in. As he said that, the boss made an inviting gesture and was about to invite the children to walk inside. Hearing what the boss said, Wang Xinyao frowned, her mind blank, a little confused about what was going on. It was clearly said just now that no one could enter. What was going on now? But the children's dull eyes lit up again at this moment, and they all kept looking at the boss, some of them not daring to believe that this was true. Uncle, can we really go in? But we don't have a reservation. Isn't this a bad idea? Thank you, Uncle. Shall we go in then? Of course this is true. Uncle won't lie to you. Please come in. The boss smiled and waved his hand. The children dispelled their doubts and excitedly pulled Wang Xinyao to follow the boss inside. What's wrong with the boss? Wasn't he the one who came up with the appointment plan? That's right. This is too strange, why is it so? The waiter and the lobby manager stood there looking at each other. No one could understand the reason behind this. Their boss seemed like a different person just now. He immediately relaxed and even personally welcomed them in. No matter from which angle they looked at it, they couldn't explain the reason behind it and could only be shocked silently in their hearts. Not long after, the boss sent Wang Xinyao and the maids in, and then went back outside to continue greeting guests. The boss is here? Seeing the boss coming out, the lobby manager and the waiter hurried over and asked the boss what had happened just now. Boss, what happened just now? Are we going to cancel the reservation system? Hearing the lobby manager's question, the boss snorted coldly and spoke to him unhappily. Cancel? I wonder what kind of sense you have. Didn't you see the umbrellas those kids were holding? Umbrella? The lobby manager and the waiter were even more confused when they heard this. Isn't this just an umbrella? Is there something special about it? Boss, we really didn't pay attention to this umbrella just now. We all thought it was an ordinary umbrella and didn't even think of taking a closer look. You should explain it to us clearly. Well, it's time for you to learn some new knowledge. The boss shook his head helplessly and explained to the two of them. The umbrellas in the hands of those girls you saw just now are not ordinary umbrellas, but that's not because the material of the umbrellas is so expensive, nor because the workmanship of the umbrellas is so exquisite. Let me be frank. That was a custom-made Rolls-Royce umbrella. It can only be owned by those who purchased the limited edition model. So tell me, is this an ordinary person? This is definitely not an ordinary noble. I have always told you that you should do things according to the person you meet, and don't be stubborn. Now you understand, right? When the two heard this, they were shocked. They didn't expect that this umbrella had such a story. Just the Rolls-Royce itself was something that not many people could afford, not to mention that this was a customized limited edition Rolls-Royce. Thinking of this, both of them felt a pang of fear in their hearts. Fortunately, the boss finally recognized it and made reasonable arrangements, otherwise if someone came to find them, they would definitely lose their jobs. "We got it, boss. You were right." The two of them finally understood that for such a guest, let alone breaking some rules for him, they had to do more things as long as he was satisfied. "Well, that's good, but I have to give you a task now, so listen carefully." The boss nodded and continued speaking to the two of them. "You have to take good care of those guests. Deliver whatever they need, whether it's drinks, desserts, toys, souvenirs, etc. Do whatever you can to make these children happy. In the end, there is no need to charge any fees. Just give it a waiver. I don't need to tell you anything else. You should know what to do, right? Don't worry, boss, we got it." The two nodded heavily, then walked quickly inside and started making arrangements without stopping. At this moment, Wang Xinyo had already brought the girls inside. The children were looking around, and were very curious about everything inside. Their eyes were rolling around, as if they wanted to take it all in. "It's so interesting here, there are so many fun things. It's a good thing we came in, otherwise we would have missed such a fun place. Mom, can we play again later?" Wang Xinyo chuckled when she heard that, rubbed the heads of the little guys, and said with a helpless smile, "Okay, you just came in and you're already thinking about the next time? Hey, we like it here." The children were smiling foolishly, and suddenly they saw a giant trampoline in the center of the hall in front of them. They were immediately attracted and stared at it. "Mom, let's go play somewhere." As they spoke, the children immediately stretched out their legs and ran to the trampoline, then couldn't wait to get in through the entrance. This trampoline has a radius of 15 meters and occupies a large area on the first floor of the club. There are already some children playing in it. Outside the trampoline, there is a soft rope net to fully ensure the safety of the children inside. Chapter 440 Taking Photos. But just when the little ones were about to go in, two staff members stopped them. "Wait a moment, kids. Sister will put on protective gear for you before you can go in." "Okay. Thank you, sis." The children nodded obediently upon hearing this, and followed the two staff members to the side. Everyone put on an ankle brace, which is necessary to prevent muscle sprains when running and jumping on the trampoline. "It's all right now, you can go in and play." The staff patted the girls' shoulders gently, and the children thanked them again before continuing to run inside. "Oh. They are so cute, are they quintuplets? Don't say any more. I feel like my heart is about to be melted by this cute thing. What good thing did I do to deserve such a little angel to be born beside me?" Looking at the girls' backs as they went in, the two female staff members were also filled with emotion. Their eyes were filled with the adorable looks of the girls. "Mom! Look how high we jump. Mom, I can fly. It's so much fun. It's a shame Mom can't come in and play." Through the outer rope net, the children excitedly waved at Wang Xinyo, who was standing outside. Wang Xinyo was also pleased to see the children happy, and she immediately took out her camera and prepared to take pictures of the children. "Girls, look here, Mommy is taking a picture of you." "Good." Hearing Wang Xinyao's call, several little guys jumped towards the camera, looking at the camera with smiling faces, dancing and gesturing. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Wang Xinyo also took a lot of photos. The girls made all kinds of fancy poses in the air, which were as funny as they could be. After Wang Xinyo finished taking the photo, the waiter hurriedly and politely walked to her side and bowed respectfully to her. "Hello, miss. We have set up a rest area next to the trampoline. You can go there to rest and wait for your child." "Okay, thank you." Wang Xinyo smiled and nodded. Seeing that the photos were almost taken, she walked to the rest area next to her and sat down. Here she could see the children's situation anytime and anywhere. The waiter over there was still busy, and soon he followed the lobby manager to bring some drinks, snacks, and desserts, and came respectfully to Wang Xinyo. "Miss, we were negligent just now. I'm really sorry. Here is something for you and the children. Please enjoy it slowly." As they spoke, the two of them placed the things respectfully on the small table beside them. Wang Xinyo looked at them in shock, not knowing what was going on. Why were they delivering things out of the blue? They didn't let me in before, and I really didn't have an appointment. What's going on? Aren't you guys being a little too polite? What happened just now wasn't a big deal. Miss, please don't say that. We are sorry for disturbing you and the other kids today. If you need anything else, please feel free to contact our staff. The lobby manager said politely, without any disrespect in his eyes. However, looking at Wang Xinyao's attitude now, he also knew that Wang Xinyaо didn't care too much about what happened before, so he was relieved. Okay, thank you then. The two were really enthusiastic, and Wang Xinyao accepted the gifts out of concern that the children would be tired and thirsty after playing. Inside the trampoline, several little guys were still playing in different ways. After playing for a while, they felt a little thirsty, so they jumped to the edge of the rope net and looked towards Wang Xinyao outside. Suddenly, their eyes lit up. Hey! Look! Mom has lots of food and drinks. Really? Let's go there quickly. Hey, Mom is so nice. She bought so many things for us. The little guys suddenly became more excited than each other. They quickly got out of the trampoline and trotted towards Wang Xinyao's position outside. Mom, we're here. Is this for us? Mom, I'm thirsty. Looking at the girls who suddenly ran over, Wang Xinyao looked at the drinks and snacks placed next to her and said with a smile. You little greedy cats, why do you come here just because you see food and drinks? Is the trampoline fun? Yeah, it's fun, but we still want to play other things. Yi Jing held a glass of orange juice and drank it in big gulps. It was quite refreshing. Well, you guys take a rest first, and we'll go check out other places later. Wang Xinyao nodded, and the girls sat beside her and started eating and drinking. Wang Xinyao also showed them the photos she had just taken. The funny and naughty looks were so funny that even the little ones laughed. Ha, Yishi, did you see how you looked just now? Your expression when you jumped up was so ferocious. Ha! Sister Xia Xia doesn't look good in the photo either. Ah! Why do I look so ugly in the photo? After playing for a while, the children regained a lot of energy. Wang Xinyao took them to the second floor of the club. As soon as they came up, they saw many parents gathering with their children. The scene was quite lively. Wow! There are so many people? What are they doing? Mom, what are they doing? It looks like fun. Let's go and take a look too. A few girls looked at it curiously and pulled Wang Xinyao over. Only after they got closer could they see everything clearly. In front, where everyone gathered, was a large pool filled with foam balls, with colorful wooden bridges in the middle, and a parent-child game was going on. The rules of the game are very simple. Parents and children are divided into a group and walk onto one of the single plank bridges together, competing with other parents and children to see who can reach the finish line the fastest. After seeing clearly that it was a parent-child game, Wang Xinyao also found it quite interesting. She looked at the little ones beside her and then noticed that they were staring with their eyes wide open. There were other parents playing games with their children on the field. The little ones all clenched their fists, as if they were worried about those wobbling people, as if they were standing on them themselves. Do you guys want to play? Seeing this, Wang Xinyao asked with a smile, and the girls' eyes immediately lit up and they agreed immediately. Yeah. This looks like fun. Mom can play with us too. Crossing the single plank bridge is very challenging. Mom, I want to play. Chapter 441 Dare Not Speed Up. Seeing that the girls were all very excited, Wang Xinyao smiled and agreed, and took them to the staff in front to sign up. Parent, are you here to participate in our parent-child game? As soon as she walked over, the staff asked enthusiastically, and Wang Xinyao nodded immediately. Yes, can I still sign up now? Yes, parents, you can register with your children. Wait, are these children all your children? As he was speaking, the staff member suddenly noticed a few girls standing impatiently by the side, and they opened their mouths in surprise. Well, yes. While filling out the registration form, Wang Xinyao agreed with a smile. The staff were almost dumbfounded. These girls were so cute. Ah, no problem, parents. Your group's number is 32. Just wait with your children. When registering for dinner, the staff handed the number ball to Wang Xinyao in a daze. The more they looked at it, the more surprised they were. These were quintuplets. What kind of luck is this? Not only are they quintuplets, but these girls are also so pretty, they inherited their mom's looks perfectly. It looks like their dad is also a handsome guy. Thinking of this, the staff were envious, and even lost their focus on the follow-up work, and looked towards the girls from time to time. Thank you all parents and children for your wonderful performance. Now we invite groups of parents and children from number 31 to number 35 to come on stage. Please welcome them with applause. Not long after, the host of the parent-child competition called out the number of Wang Xinyao's group. The girls immediately became excited and looked at Wang Xinyao excitedly. Mom, it's our turn. Let's go up quickly, Mom. I can't wait. Come on. We can do it. Okay, let's go. Then, Wang Xinyao and the children walked to the second single plank bridge in front, and the host of the parent-child competition was also introducing it non-stop. Now everyone sees Miss Wang and her 5 beautiful and lovely daughters. This is really rare. We have seen several pairs of twins today, but these are quintuplets. But if that's the case, Miss Wang's group might be slower than the other groups, but they are still a family worth envying. When the girls heard this, they became a little worried and looked at Wang Xinyao and asked, Mom, don't our odds of winning seem very low? Yeah, the other groups only have 3 people at most, but we have 6. This way we will definitely be slower than them. Wang Xinyao was very clear about this principle, but she was not too worried. She smiled and comforted the girls. It's okay, girls. The most important thing about a competition is participation. We don't have to win, we just need to have fun. Yeah, we got it. The children nodded sensibly and stopped thinking about it. They took a deep breath and waited for the game to begin. At the host's introduction, other parents also looked over at the same time, but when they saw Wang Xinyao and the girls, they were all shocked. This was too unbelievable. Oh my God. Am I seeing things? There are 5 children, and they are quintuplets. Ah. And these are all little girls, and so cute. This is such good luck. I have to say that both the parents and the children are so good looking. I feel like those so-called celebrity child actors are far inferior to them. Besides being shocked, the onlookers began to talk among themselves, and their attention gradually focused on Wang Xinyao and the girls. Dear parents and children, pay attention to the slogan, 3, 2, 1. The game begins. Finally, at the host's command, the competition began in full swing. The 5 groups of parents and children on the field rushed to the finish line behind the single plank bridge. Ouch! However, this had just begun. One of the middle-aged men walking in front was walking too fast and one of them lost his balance and fell directly into the foam ball pool below. Dad! Why did you fall? The little girl at the back was also frightened when she saw this. She stood there in a daze and dared not move forward. The middle-aged man below rubbed his head awkwardly, and then began to cheer for his daughter. It's okay, Xiao Ya, you have to cheer up. The most important thing in the competition is participation. Don't worry about Dad, just keep going. Yeah, I get it, Dad. The little girl gritted her teeth and continued to walk forward carefully. Although her body was still unstable and looked shaky, she still insisted on moving slowly. As for Wang Xinyao and a few maids, the maids walked in front and Wang Xinyao followed closely behind. Although their speed was not very fast, they continued to walk steadily. Perhaps it was because the girls had learned martial arts and sports with Yi Xian before and knew how to maintain their body's center of gravity, so it was not too difficult for them to maintain stability. Wang Xinyao also practices yoga regularly to maintain her figure, so her stability is definitely not bad. Compared with the other groups, although they have the largest number of people, they are actually moving the fastest. The host was holding the microphone and nervously explaining the live competition. When he noticed that Wang Xinyao and the girls were gradually distancing themselves from other parents and children, he was stunned. I have to take back what I just said. We can see that Miss Wang and her daughters are already far ahead and at the forefront. This is simply a miracle. Now, the parents and children in other groups may have to work harder, otherwise this competition will be firmly in the hands of Miss Wang's group. As the host gave the passionate commentary, the parents and children who were playing the game on the field all looked towards Wang Xinyao. Everyone was dumbfounded and their scalps were tingling. This? This is professional, so many people can be so fast. That's amazing. We have to hurry up. Mom, why are they so fast? While sighing, several other groups of parents and children moved faster intentionally or unintentionally, but this brought more instability. After only a few steps, another group of parents and children both stepped on empty air and fell down. As a result, the other group still standing on the single plank bridge slowed down again. Seeing this, no one dared to speed up. If they were not careful, they might not even be able to finish the race. Chapter 442 Sent Outside. Here, Wang Xinyao and a few girls were getting closer and closer to the finish line, less than 10 meters away. The people watching outside the field have all focused their attention on Wang Xinyao and the girls. Seeing such a wonderful performance, they can't help but applaud and cheer for those who are about to reach the finish line. Come on. We're almost there. Hold on. You guys are awesome. I've watched several shows, and your family is the best. It's almost there. You will be able to win the championship soon. But as everyone cheered and focused their attention, Yi Yun, who was walking in the middle, felt a little nervous, but also happy that she was about to reach the finish line. Yi Yun lost her composure for a moment and her steps became disordered. When she was about to reach the finish line, her body suddenly tilted and she was about to fall. Ah! Yi Yun cried out helplessly. The feeling of weightlessness made her close her eyes. She was ready to accept the reality that she was going to fall, which made the host and the onlookers feel nervous. Xia, quickly catch Xia Yun. However, almost at the same time, Yi Jing behind Yi Yun noticed this scene, and hurriedly shouted to Yi Xia who was walking in front, and then he lowered his center of gravity and quickly grabbed Yi Yun's hand. Got it. Yi Xia in front also reacted quickly, and followed Yi Jing to grab and support Yi Yun who almost fell down. The whole process was safe and sound. Yi Yun felt that the center of gravity of her body had stabilized again, and she quickly adjusted her breathing and focused her attention. Thank you Jingjing and sister Xia. I almost got into trouble. Seeing that they were almost at the finish line and such a mess happened, Yi Yun apologized awkwardly, and Wang Xinyao, who was walking at the end, also hurried to comfort her. It's okay, Xiao Yun, hold on, we're almost there. She was also worried about Yi Yun just now, and was surprised and happy to see Yi Xia and Yi Jing react so quickly. Okay, Mom. I'll do my best. Then let's keep going. After the little episode, Wang Xinyao and the girls continued to move forward, and the last few meters were completed steadily. When their feet stepped on the flat ground, the little ones realized that they were the first ones to arrive. The joy of victory and the sense of accomplishment of completing the whole process made them jump 3 feet high immediately. Yeah. We're done. Mom. We are the first ones here, so happy. Aren't we awesome, Mom? We really won. Wang Xinyao wiped her sweat and was in a very happy mood. She gave the children a thumbs up and said, You guys are great. Yi Jing and Yi Xia even knew how to take care of their little sister. It really gave Mom a big surprise. There are still some people who haven't come yet, let's cheer for them. Okay, Mom. After saying that, the children turned around obediently and cheered for the two groups of parents and children who were still standing on the field. At this moment, the audience around was completely excited. They didn't expect that even with such an accident, Wang Xinyao and the children still completed the competition. These little girls are such a pleasant surprise. They are still able to stay stable like this. It's really great. This is definitely the most exciting parent-child competition I have ever seen. It's so exciting. How can they be so cute, pretty, and so amazing? I love them so much. Finally, with the crowd watching and talking, and with the constant encouragement from a few girls, the other two groups of parents and children also successfully completed the race and arrived at the finish line one after another. Wah 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 wah. Suddenly, thunderous applause broke out at the scene, and the host announced the result of the competition. Dear parents and children, I now declare that Miss Wang and her daughters have successfully won first place in this competition without any trouble, and they are also the fastest among all the groups today. Please give them another round of applause for their wonderful performance. Our staff will also present them with prizes. The host spoke passionately, and then two staff members in uniform came up and presented prizes to the children with smiling faces. You guys are awesome, here's your prize. Have fun. Yeah, thank you, sister. The children happily accepted the prizes and politely thanked the staff who presented the prizes. The prizes were just some small gadgets, a few dolls the size of key pendants, and the workmanship was quite exquisite. But the children treasured it very much. After all, they won it with their mother, so it has a very different meaning. After a while, Wang Xinyao took the children to stroll somewhere else. The girls loved the prizes in their hands and kept playing with them. Okay, you girls, stop playing and go home and have fun. Let's go look around some other places. Yeah. Okay, Mom. Then, the children obediently collected the prizes and continued to walk around the club, experiencing many projects, including Delay Handicrafts, Science and Technology Experience Hall, Doll Park, and so on. There are many novel things in it. Children are like curious babies. Everything is new to them and they want to experience them all. They don't feel tired at all. During this process, Wang Xinyao also took a lot of photos of the children. As they were playing, time seemed to flow like water and a lot of time passed by invisibly. Girls, it's time for us to go home. Did you have fun today? Happy. But Mom, I still feel like I haven't had enough fun. When the girls heard that they were going home, they were a little reluctant to leave. After all, there were so many things attracting them in this little world that they would never feel bored. Okay, when I have time, Mom will bring you here again. Besides, don't you miss Dad? Yes. Then let's go back quickly, Mom. After hearing Wang Xinyao mention their father, the little ones who were reluctant to leave actually urged Wang Xinyao to go back. Wang Xinyao looked helplessly at the impatient girls, and thought that to deal with these girls, she would have to rely on Yixian. They left as soon as they said they would. The girls pulled Wang Xinyao out, and the lobby manager and the boss downstairs were seeing them off. Hello, Miss Wang. Are you going back with the children? When the boss saw Wang Xinyao coming down, he was stunned at first, and then quickly trotted over to greet her. Yeah, we're almost done playing. Wang Xinyao nodded kindly and was about to leave with the children. The boss followed them all the way outside. Chapter 443 Surprise. Ms. Wang, take care. If the girls want to come over to play again in the future, you can always bring them over. As long as you are willing to come, no appointment is needed. The boss waved his hand majestically. Wang Xinyao was a little surprised but still thanked the boss with a smile. Thank you, boss. You are so polite. If there is nothing else, we will leave first. Okay. Miss Wang, take care. The other ladies, take care too. After saying goodbye, Wang Xinyao led the girls into the car, and Tang Hao drove and soon returned to the villa. Dad! We're back. As soon as they entered the villa, the little guys excitedly jumped into Yi Xian's arms and hugged him affectionately. Well, did you guys have fun today? Was that club fun? Rubbing the children's little faces, Yi Xian asked lovingly. Very happy. It's so much fun there, Dad. We want to go there again in the future. Dad, we won first place in the parent-child competition today. Look, this is our prize. Let me show you the pictures, Dad. These were taken by Mom. Talking about today's experience, the children's faces and eyes were filled with joy, and they happily shared with Yi Xian the prizes they won and the photos they took today. Well, that's great. Daddy is happy when you are happy. Yi Xian smiled and nodded, then smiled slightly and spoke mysteriously to the children. But, Dad has some good news to tell you. It will make you even happier. Do you want to know? Hearing the good news, the children's eyes lit up and they nodded excitedly. Think. What's the good news? Did Dad make something delicious for us? Hee, Dad is the best, just tell us. Okay, Dad will tell you. Yi Xian smiled gently, stood up and continued. Dad bought you a lot of gifts, all of which are things you like. Really? That's great. The girls became even more excited upon hearing this and looked around to see where the gifts were. Where is it? Why can't I see it? Is it in our room? Dad, where is the gift? The children looked around but saw nothing. Although they were very excited, they also looked at Yi Xian in confusion. Don't worry, Dad hasn't finished talking yet. The gifts are ready for you, but they are hidden in various corners of the house. You need to find them by yourselves. Oh. So that's how it is. The maids nodded as if they understood something, and they all became motivated. They rubbed their hands and started searching everywhere in the house. Yi Xian placed these gifts in different places. Although it was a little difficult, it was not so difficult that the girls could not find them. They just needed to be a little careful and they would be able to find them all. The girls also immersed themselves in it wholeheartedly, enjoying the process of exploration and not missing any small corner. I found it. There's a present here. Suddenly, Yishi took out a beautifully wrapped gift from the gap in the sofa and held it in her arms excitedly. Let me see. Whose gift is this? Xiaoxi is amazing, she found it so quickly. Upon hearing this, the other girls also came over. Yishi also saw the name on the outside of the gift package and her expression dimmed a little. So this belongs to Sister Xia Xia. Be mine? Yi Xia walked up excitedly, and when he saw the name on it, it was indeed his. He jumped up and down with excitement. Thank you, Xiaoxi, you helped me find it, and I want to help you find it too. Aha! As they talked, the children continued to search throughout the house. Yi Shi and Yi Xia were in a group, searching in the living room and kitchen dining room. Yi Yun, Yi Zi, and Yi Jing were in a group, searching in the study, yoga room and other small rooms. In the living room, Yi Xia and Yi Shi were searching everywhere, including the sofa, tea table, wine cabinet, and TV cabinet. They didn't leave any place unsearched. Wang Xinyao couldn't help laughing when she saw the scene, and said to Yi Xian, "Hubby, this is such an interesting idea. Not only do you buy gifts for the kids, but you also train their observation skills. They are still young now, and they can be trained intentionally or unintentionally. It will be helpful for them in the future." Yi Xian said happily, and continued to look at Yi Xia and Yi Shi who were still searching. "Xia Xia, Xiaoxi, do you have any new gains?" "Not yet, Dad, you hit it so well." Yi Xia stuck out her tongue playfully, and suddenly narrowed her eyes, noticing the large potted plant by the wall. Through the lush leaves, it seemed that there was something behind it. "Xiaoxi, come here quickly, I have discovered something." "Really?" Yi Shi came over quickly, and Yi Xia took her to the potted plant. She tilted her little head to look into the leaves, grinning and revealing her cute lower fangs. "Found it! It's right here." With a stretch of his hand, Yi Xia took out the gift that Yi Xian had stuffed inside the leaves of the potted plant. Yi Shi's name was written on it. "Hey, Xiaoxi, this is yours." "That's great, thank you, Sister Xia Xia." Yi Shi took it joyfully and held the gift in her arms like a treasure. "We found it too." Just at this time, Yi Jing also ran out happily with Yi Yun and Yi Zi, each holding their own gifts in their hands. "Sister Jingjing, we found it too." "Really? That's awesome. By the way, Sister Jingjing, where did you find it?" Yi Xia asked curiously. Yi Jing recalled for a moment and answered with a smile. "Hey, Dad is really good at hiding things. My copy is hidden in the cabinet at the bottom of the bookshelf, Xiaoyun's is behind the yoga in the yoga room, and Xiaozi's is the most interesting, it's in the washing machine in the laundry room." By sharing the process of searching, the girls also gained a different kind of fun, which is not something they could get by simply putting the gifts in front of them. "You guys are really great, Dad gives you a thumbs up." At this time, Yi Xian also walked up with a smile. Seeing that the girls were holding their gifts in their hands, he felt very satisfied. "Hee hee, this treasure hunt game is so fun. Dad, I want to play it again in the future." Dad still gave in to us and didn't hide it in a high place, otherwise we would definitely not have been able to find it. "Dad, can we open it now? I'm so excited to see what's inside." As they spoke, the children also focused their attention on their gifts, ready to open them to see what kind of surprise they had. Chapter 444. Take it apart and see. Of course, open it and take a look. Yeah. The children cheered and then opened their presents. However, when they saw what was inside, they were so surprised that they couldn't help cheering. "Great, Dad. That's what I like. Ah. I've wanted this for a long time. It's actually a Lego set, I love you, Dad." After unpacking, the children's eyes were filled with the gifts and their excitement was beyond words. This was because they had lost their favorite things. Yi Jing's was a limited edition set of Lego, Yi Xiao's was a Rubik's Cube made by Shuailing, there was also Yi Yun's complete set of simulated kitchens, Yi Zi's painting set, and Yi Shi's castle music box. "How about it, do you like these gifts?" Yi Xian, who was standing next to them, looked at the girls' joyful expressions and asked a few questions. These were all selected by him based on the children's usual hobbies. "I like it. I like it very much." Several girls nodded heavily. They were not in a hurry to play with the gifts. Instead, they all threw themselves into Yi Xian's arms and thanked him happily. "Thank you, Dad. I like the gift you gave me very much. Dad is the best dad in the world. Dad is the best, I will always love him." After that, the children held their new gifts no matter what, except when they were eating, even when it was time to go to bed. "Girls, it's time to go to bed. Let's stop playing for a while, okay?" Looking at the girls playing with toys with their eyes wide open, Yi Xian sat beside them, pulling the quilts for them and giving them a few instructions. "Dad, we want to sleep in each other's arms. This is a gift from our dad. We will surely have sweet dreams if we hold it while sleeping." "No. Dad, let's hold them while we sleep today." The girls blinked at Yi Xian pleadingly. Yi Xian felt helpless and could only smile bitterly and nodded in agreement. Okay, Daddy promises you, but you all have to sleep well, got it? Yeah, we got it. The girls nodded happily. Long Ling, who was watching these scenes outside the door, couldn't help but cover her mouth and smile, thinking that these children really seemed to like these gifts. Then, Long Ling returned to her room and began to continue with her arrangements. After all, the wedding was still in preparation, and she was a person in charge after all, so she had to pay attention to these things. Ha! What should I think about now? Long Ling yawned, shook his head, and tried his best to cheer himself up and continue thinking about what to do next. That's right. We have to eat then. Suddenly, Long Ling slapped his head and remembered this. He was glad that there was still time. This was a very important step. Those precious ingredients and delicacies are indispensable at the masteress' wedding, but they also have to be prepared in advance. If it's too late, it will be too late. Oh, looks like I'll have to stay up late tonight. Sighing, Long Ling quickly made himself a cup of coffee, and then began to contact several world-class hotels and their material origin suppliers. It wasn't too long, but just an hour later, on the other side of the world, the director of a top-grade raw material production site stood there in shock, holding the phone in his hand. What? Miss Long, are you kidding me? Listening to Long Ling's words on the phone, the supervisor's head was buzzing and he blurted out an exclamation. What he just heard was simply the most ridiculous thing. I'm not kidding. I just told you very clearly that I will pay a high price to reserve these ingredients, and I will also give you a part of the deposit. Here, Long Ling's voice was firm, but she still felt unhappy when she thought about it. Why was it that every time these guys received a call from her, they either thought she was joking or that she was causing trouble? What was going on? Miss, you may not know that MGM Grand, Seger Hotel, and Hookah Resort, these top hotels, all have business dealings with us. Thinking of this, the supervisor sneered. He had been managing this production site for so many years, and this was the biggest joke he had ever heard. Why should I give up a whole forest for a small tree? Besides, it's not certain whether this person is a liar. If we cut off the supply to those hotels, how will we do business in the future? I understand what you mean, just wait a moment. How could Long Ling not understand what the supervisor meant, so she hung up the phone without thinking. Wait a minute. Do you really think I'm a fool? The supervisor threw the phone aside in annoyance, and it looked like he would never call again. Sitting in his office chair, he picked up the bourbon whiskey next to him and poured himself a glass. Enjoying the wine, the supervisor looked intoxicated, as if he had forgotten what had happened before. Ding ding ding. But after only half a glass of wine, the phone on the table rang again. Damn it, how dare you hit me? The supervisor was immediately furious at having his interest disturbed. What do you call this behavior? It's just looking for trouble. I told you this is impossible, don't call me again. What? A deep, middle-aged man's voice came from the phone, obviously not the Long Ling from before. And when he heard this, his tone was stunned. I don't know what was going on. Are you Manager Weir? The supervisor's mouth twitched, feeling extremely embarrassed. He didn't expect that it was him who called. This is one of his biggest clients, the general manager of MGM Grand. Boss, why are you so angry today? This is a misunderstanding. I thought it was the phone call just now. I understand, boss. Let's get down to business. Manager Weir's voice sank and he spoke very seriously. Manager, after the recent batches of goods are delivered, please stop sending anything to me. Supply it to that lady instead. No, what do you mean? The supervisor was confused as he listened to the call, frowning and thinking about it. Why don't we need to supply it ourselves? Is this April Fool's Day today? Are you kidding? If they don't supply it themselves, why would they keep their hotel open? Those ingredients were reserved in advance by the hotel's customers. Wouldn't this damage their reputation? Chapter 445 Cancellation of Appointment. And from what he said, it seems like he gave up voluntarily and gave it all to the person who called just now. Wait, Manager Weir, I don't quite understand, why is this happening? I also received the call from that lady just now, but this is not very realistic. The supervisor asked doubtfully, thinking that he must get something out of Will. Well, this is a trade secret. But I can tell you that we have cancelled all our appointments for a few months. Were changed the subject and chose not to answer, but the excitement that was evident in his words could be felt by the supervisor. Forehead. The supervisor's mouth twitched, but he had a general idea that this was definitely a good job. Sometimes, not everyone can control the sugar-coated bullet of money. Obviously, not only did they not lose money, they even seemed to have made some profit. It's still the same old saying, after all, money makes the world go round. Okay, Manager Weir, I understand. I'll make the arrangements. After understanding the situation clearly, the manager decided not to say more. After a few pleasantries, he hung up the phone. Oh, is it really my negligence? Looking at his desk filled with trading orders, the supervisor muttered to himself. Just now he firmly believed that the call from Long Ling was a prank, but this time he was completely rubbing his face on the ground. Manager, please take a look. We just received a large transfer, and the note is a deposit. While the supervisor was thinking, the senior financial manager outside came in hurriedly, holding a printed slip in his hand. Let me see. The supervisor narrowed his eyes and looked at the bill carefully, but when he saw the amount and then the name at the signature, he shuddered all over. Ah! Miss Long Ling's. At this moment, not only the terrifying deposit moved his heart, but also the name written in black and white was exactly Long Ling from before. The more he looked, the more surprised he was. The supervisor was sweating all over. Although he was prepared, he was still scared. Are you kidding? Is there anyone who would choose to refuse this number? No. It's impossible. Unless this person is a fool, why wouldn't he make money? The senior financial management looked at the supervisor's expression with confusion and asked with concern. Manager, is there anything wrong with this? You go out first and leave me alone. All right. The supervisor waved his hand, rubbed his temple and asked him to go out first, then quickly picked up the phone and called Long Ling back. Ms. Long, I received your deposit. I'm sorry for my attitude just now. As soon as the call was connected, the supervisor apologized immediately. Are you kidding? This guy is the financial sponsor now, he must control him. Okay, I got it. Now can we talk about the specific cooperation? Here, Long Ling smiled, and the supervisor quickly nodded in agreement. Of course, Miss Long, we will do whatever you say. Very good, this isn't difficult. We just need to ensure the quality of the ingredients and the supply. Then just wait for my call. Okay, Miss Long, I'll go down and make the arrangements. Don't worry, I'll definitely do it for you. The supervisor agreed solemnly, then hung up the phone and took a deep breath. The few phone calls just now made him unable to calm down. Sitting in the chair, the supervisor picked up the phone tremblingly and called his secretary, asking him to come to his office as soon as possible. A moment later, the secretary came in hurriedly and asked curiously. What's wrong, boss? Is there anything wrong? It's good that you're here. Now remember everything I said. The supervisor stood up solemnly, his brain working rapidly, and continued. First, after we finish supplying those big hotels at this stage, we will no longer supply them. Secondly, as for customers in other places, we should also gradually reduce our supply to them. I don't need to teach you what excuses you will use when the time comes, right? Third, and most importantly, we must store a batch of precious high-quality ingredients from now on. There is no upper limit to the quantity, the more the better. After saying this, the supervisor breathed a sigh of relief. This should be enough. But boss, why is this? Although the secretary wrote down these points, he was also surprised and did not think this was a wise decision. It's okay, just do as I say. I'll explain the reasons in detail when we hold a meeting of all senior executives later. Good job, sir. Hearing this, the secretary did not ask any more questions and quickly turned around to make arrangements. About 20 minutes later, an emergency notice was received and the conference room was filled with all the senior executives here. What on earth is going on? Don't ask me, I don't know, but you saw the arrangement just now, right? I saw it all. Now I really doubt whether the supervisor took the wrong medicine. When the senior executives discussed the matter, they were all confused, and no one could figure out the supervisor's intention. Ahem. Everyone, be quiet. At this time, the supervisor saw that most people had arrived, so he started an emergency meeting and explained what had just happened in a serious and solemn manner. The faces of the senior executives gradually changed from confusion to shock. Now they knew why the supervisor made such arrangements. Does anyone have any comments now? After saying this, the supervisor glanced at everyone present and asked, "No more. We all do it. The supervisor's decision is correct, I have nothing to say. We know what to do." As the meeting here is going on, other raw material sites and suppliers are also being deployed in full swing. This is undoubtedly a big move. At the same time, all world-class hotels have cancelled all their final reservations for the past few months. This was undoubtedly a major earthquake, and all the dignitaries who had made reservations long ago were all furious. How can I put it? These are the top 10 hotels in the world. Why are they collectively canceling customer orders? What does this mean? After receiving the message from the hotel, these dignitaries were inevitably unhappy and confused. The hotel's phone was instantly flooded with calls. How did you do this? Why did you cancel all our appointments? Your hotel must give us an explanation for what happened today, otherwise we will not give up. Is this considered bullying? This is a reservation for several months later. Can it be cancelled? Chapter 446, Incomprehensible. Here, the hotel's front desk operators are all very busy. Sorry sir, this was decided by the leadership of our hotel. We don't know the reason. I'm so sorry. I understand how you feel right now, but I can't help you. I hope you can calm down. I apologize on behalf of the hotel. If you need anything recently, we can also give you priority reservations. The operators apologized and explained to the guests, but this not only failed to calm the dignitaries, but made them even more confused. Well, then I want to know why you do this. Please at least give me a complete explanation. I won't say anything else. I just want to know what this means first. I don't think you can explain it clearly, let your boss answer the phone. Seeing this, the switchboard operators were helpless and had to quickly find the boss. After all, these are all distinguished guests, they can't afford to entertain them. Hello, I am the hotel owner. What can I do for you? The boss picked up the phone and asked politely. You are the boss, right? I want to ask, what is the basis for canceling our appointment? Even when the boss heard the tone from the other party, it was still not pleasant. Dear guest, I am very sorry. This is because our hotel chefs have to leave the hotel and go out to prepare the banquet. The boss was also helpless, but before he decided to cancel, he also knew that it would arouse public anger, so now he could only bite the bullet and explain. What? The chef is outsourced. The dignitary on the phone suddenly sighed and was extremely shocked. This is a chef from a top hotel, how can he be outsourced? What kind of financial resources does the other party have to be able to do all this? Okay, I understand, but you guys are really rude. We've already made a reservation. But even so, the noble official was still unhappy and blamed the boss. You are such a big hotel after all, you must know what integrity is, right? The boss was helpless after hearing this, so he sighed deeply and continued to explain. I'm so sorry, sir. We didn't want this to happen. Of course, we hope to serve you. But, what the other party gave, was too much, I couldn't find a reason to refuse. Hearing this, the dignitary on the phone's mouth twitched violently, and he was speechless at the moment. Yes, even the boss said that he gave too much. The number is so terrifying that it is unimaginable. Let alone the other party, even if he encountered such a thing, he couldn't refuse it. While all the hotels are extremely busy due to customer complaints, the raw material producing areas and suppliers are also still busy. The order this time is really too big, and they have to transport a lot of precious ingredients to China for Long Ling to inspect. In one of the breeding farms where the raw materials were produced, several senior executives were involved in the work. They carefully selected the ingredients to be sent over and gave instructions to other workers one after another. Everyone, please pay attention. What we pick this time must be the best. The freshness, quality, and grade must all be perfect. We are a big customer this time, so everyone should cheer up and do these things well. Be careful, the supplies now are different from all the previous ones, the quality must be guaranteed. The senior executives kept giving instructions one by one, and the workers working nearby were also extremely cautious, not daring to make even the slightest mistake. If there is a problem with the supply, they might lose their jobs. Wait, this one doesn't work, try another one. Here, a worker just disturbed a two-headed abalone, and the senior executive next to him shook his head. This abalone is in good shape, but it's not the best size, so don't put it in. Okay. The worker opened his mouth in surprise, and couldn't help but murmur in his heart. What kind of client are we entertaining this time? These demands are too high. After the hectic selection work was over, the supervisors and bosses at the production site still didn't dare to relax. When it was time to pack the products at the end, they praised us so much that they personally inspected each one of them and would not tolerate any mistakes. Put this aside for now. If you have something better, don't send this over. Okay, boss. The boss put one of the ingredients aside, wearing gloves. He couldn't say he was very satisfied with it. After all, they have already paid such a large deposit, so they have to ensure the quality and quantity, otherwise it would be like taking the money but not doing the job. Here, at noon the next day, the children were playing at home. It was almost time for dinner and their stomachs began to rumble. What are we having for lunch? I'm so hungry now, I want to eat something delicious. Sister Long Ling, what do you think we should eat? The girls thought about it, but couldn't think of what to eat, so they looked at Long Ling, who was sitting aside watching the stocks. You little greedy cats. Long Ling laughed and said jokingly. Don't ask me this question. You don't like what I make. Go ask your dad. Oh well. A few girls pouted, happily found Yi Xian, and rubbed their bellies. Dad, I'm hungry. Yi Xian looked at the girls with a helpless look. It was time to make lunch, so he nodded helplessly. Okay, what do you want to eat? Dad will make it for you right away. Hey, Dad is the best. We all want to eat anything that Dad cooks. The girls were never picky. They might have been fussy about food before, but after Yi Xian came, they all changed. Ding ding ding. Just at this moment, Long Ling's phone rang. She glanced at the caller ID and then quickly answered the call. Ms. Long Ling, we are the origin of raw materials here. We are sending you a batch of food samples. Is it convenient for you to pick them up now? The voice on the phone was very respectful, and it was the same supervisor as before. Great. You guys are here just in time. Of course it's convenient. After verifying the other party's information, Long Ling jumped up from the sofa excitedly and blinked at Yi Xian. Yi Xian looked at Long Ling as if he was a fool. Was this guy crazy from starvation in the middle of the day? Okay, Miss Long Ling, please give me your address and I'll send it to you right away. Chapter 447, Good Food. Okay, I'll send it to you right away. After hanging up the phone, Long Ling quickly sent the address of the villa, and then lay down on the sofa happily. It seems like I'm in for a treat at noon today. Sister Long Ling, what good thing happened? Why are you so happy? What is that, Sister Long Ling? What are you going to send over? I guess Sister Long Ling must be hungrier than us, so she ordered takeout. Ah. Sister Long Ling, please order less takeout. Our teacher said that takeout is unhealthy. Several little fellows came up to Long Ling and asked him questions out of curiosity, and began to guess. You girls are too imaginative. Long Ling stuck out her tongue helplessly, thinking how could there be such expensive takeout? Okay, stop guessing, you'll know soon. Okay, Sister Long Ling, you just love to keep us in suspense. The girls pouted angrily, but they had no choice but to wait obediently. After a while, a burst of noise outside suddenly reached everyone's ears. Long Ling snapped his fingers and said with a smile. Okay, the stuff has arrived. Really? The girls rolled their eyes and quickly followed Long Ling to run outside. After all, they are still children, and they are definitely curious. When they walked outside, they saw luxury cars parked in front of the manor. Everyone, hurry up. One of the middle-aged men in a suit got out of the car and quickly asked others to unload the goods. Miss Long Ling. Then, the man also saw Long Ling coming out, and hurriedly took out the delivery note, walked up respectfully and greeted him. Nice to meet you, Miss Long Ling. This is the delivery note for this time. Please sign for it. No problem. I have to say, you guys are really efficient. Long Ling smiled and nodded, took the list, glanced at it casually, and signed his name. Here, a group of staff were busy moving small boxes down and placing them at the door of the villa in the villa. What are these things? I don't know, they are all packed in wooden boxes. They are so exquisite. Let's move in, maybe there's something delicious and fun there. The maids watched curiously from the side, and then helped to move the boxes from the door into the villa. Wang Xinyao stood aside and watched, also curious. Just as she was about to step forward to help, she was stopped by Yi Xian. Xinyao, just sit down and rest, I'll do it. As he said that, Yi Xian kissed Wang Xinyo on the face and went to help move the boxes. Okay, honey, slow down. Wang Xinyo had no choice but to obey seeing this, but she felt warm in her heart and rubbed her belly. Ever since she was diagnosed with pregnancy, Yi Xian had not allowed her to do any heavy work. Her every move was under his watch. Soon, Long Ling signed the order and all the boxes were moved into the house. Sister Long Ling, can we open it and take a look? The girl bit her fingers curiously, wanting to see what was inside. Of course, these are our ingredients for lunch. Long Ling smiled and nodded, leading the girls to open the boxes one by one. Of course, there are precious ingredients inside, including giant black abalone, Caspian pearl caviar, Belen oysters, and other ingredients that are comparable to gold. And these ingredients are carefully selected countless times from the top shelves before being sent here. It can be said that these ingredients are basically of auction level and cannot be found even in top hotels. Wow! These are all food, they look delicious. Sister Long Ling, what are these? We have never seen many of them before. Isn't it expensive? These lobsters and abalone look so beautiful. The girls were very curious about the ingredients, but they really didn't know what they were, so they had to ask Long Ling. Hee, now is the time to look to your sister Long Ling. When asked this by the maids, Long Ling immediately became as proud as a child king, standing up with his hands on his hips and introducing himself. Look at this is Iberian ham. It is the top quality food in the whole of Europe. Each one costs tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands. Look at this abalone. This is a one-head net abalone. One head means that the fresh abalone still weighs 1 kilogram after being dried. Only then can it be called a one-head abalone. The price is at least over 1 million yuan. It is hard to buy even if you have money. As for these caviar, they are extremely valuable. They are produced by sturgeons that have a lifespan of more than 60 years. They are rare and can be auctioned for as much as gold. Long Ling introduced the food enthusiastically, but the girls were dazzled and shocked. They didn't expect that the food had such a great origin. Oh my god! These sound so expensive. It's so expensive and so rare, it must be delicious. Hee, with Dad's cooking skills, it must be extremely delicious. However, what Long Ling did not expect was that the girls were not interested in the prices of the ingredients at all, but just wanted to eat them. You guys are really the real deal, little greedy cats. Hey, we're hungry. A few little guys pouted and looked at Yi Xian eagerly as he continued. Dad, we are all hungry. Can you help us make something delicious? My father's cooking skills are so good, and with these ingredients, the taste must be amazing. Just go quickly, Dad. We are starving. Yi Xian looked at the dazzling array of top-quality ingredients, and then at the girls who were acting coquettishly and asking for food, and he was somewhat unable to recover. Smacking his lips, Yi Xian looked at Long Ling in confusion and asked. Long Ling, how did you get so many ingredients? They are so expensive. Hee, master, please stop pretending to be confused. Long Ling covered her mouth and laughed, blinking at Yi Xian. Isn't this preparation for master and his wife's wedding banquet? I contacted the raw material production area and supplier in advance, and this is the sample they sent over. I see, you've really thought this through, not bad. After learning the whole story, Yi Xian was also happy and rolled up his sleeves. Well, I'll use these ingredients to make you some lunch and then check out what these samples are like. The little guys were very excited when they heard that. When they thought about the table full of delicious food soon, they licked their lips and started cheering. Great, there's something delicious. Dad is the best, we are in for a treat. Chapter 448 Go. Dad, I'll help you move in. As they were talking, the maids immediately helped to move the ingredients into the kitchen. After a while, Yi Xian prepared a large table of delicious dishes. These delicacies made with top-quality ingredients, coupled with exquisite presentation, looked even more pleasing to the eye. There was also a soul-stirring aroma in the air, which made everyone unable to bear it under the double stimulation of vision and taste. Even Wang Xinyao's appetite improved a lot today and she ate a lot. Needless to say, the girls in Long Ling were such greedy cats that they ate so much that they didn't stop until there was only a little soup left on the plate. Hiccup. This is truly master's craftsmanship. I'm so satisfied. After the meal, Long Ling burped several times. This was the first meat he had for his meal today, and his stomach was bloated. While lying on the sofa and playing with his mobile phone, Long Ling received a message from the supplier of raw materials in the Maldives. Hello, Miss Long Ling, we sincerely invite you to visit our origin in the Maldives. Do you have time? After seeing the news, Long Ling smiled and asked the girls beside her. Girls, do you want to go to the Maldives? Sister Long Ling, what is Maldives? The children were a little confused as they had never heard of this place. This is a tourist destination, with blue skies, warm sunshine, golden beaches, tall coconut trees. The scenery is simply picturesque. Besides, there are a lot of delicious food there, seafood feasts, ethnic food. Wow, they are all very tempting. After hearing Long Ling's simple and clear description, the children's eyes lit up and they looked at Yi Xian eagerly. Dad, can we go check it out? It sounds great. Dad, we've been invited, so we should go out of courtesy. Just take us there, Dad. There must be a lot of delicious food there. Looking at the girls' longing looks, Yi Xian thought for a moment and nodded. Well, let's go. That's great. According to what Sister Long Ling said, the scenery there must be very beautiful. Hey, now I can have a good time. I want to take lots of beautiful photos. I'm so looking forward to it. Maldives must be a beautiful and comfortable place. Seeing Yi Xian agreed, the little guys were excited and looking forward to it. Listening to Long Ling's description, they all wished they could go there right now to experience the charm of this world-class tourist destination. Of course, when has your sister Long Ling ever fooled you? Long Ling looked at the girls with a smile, and then excitedly took out her laptop. Wait a minute, I'll find some pictures for you guys to see, and then you'll know how beautiful it is. As Long Ling's fingers tapped on the keyboard, he finally pressed the enter key. A lot of scenery photos of the Maldives were immediately loaded on the screen, and the children all rushed over. The sea where the sky and water merge into one, the golden and misty beach. It seems that in this photo, you can even smell the salty breeze from the sea. The setting sun at the edge of the coastline seemed to fall into the bottom of the sea, burning the sky and the sea red. The wonder of the flaming clouds is in full view, just like the starry sky in a fairy tale. One glance is enough to make you intoxicated. The sea view villas by the sea are brightly lit under the night sky, and the bonfires and romantic dances on the beach are also attracting the children's attention. Wow! It's so beautiful. How can there be such a beautiful place? It's so beautiful, I must go and see it with my own eyes. Oh my God! This is the Maldives. That's where we are going. The children were stunned and indulged in the beautiful scenery in the pictures, and they were even more excited. It is true that seeing is believing. I was already intoxicated by Long Ling's description just now, and now browsing these beautiful pictures, I want to go and check it out even more. Okay, stop watching. You have to pack your luggage by yourself tonight. Got it? Seeing that the girls couldn't stop watching, Yi Xian had to remind them. Okay, Dad, let's go now. I must be the fastest, don't worry, Dad. Hurry. Let's go clean up now. The little guys were startled, took a few more looks at each other, then swarmed back to their rooms and started packing their luggage. Take this. Take this too. And bring your cotton padded jacket too. It will be very cold in the morning and evening. Sister Yi Jing, do we still need to bring books? You'd better take it with you. You can take a look at it when you have time. In the room, several girls were discussing in their baby voices what they were going to bring. Not to mention thick clothes, even books were stuffed into a small box. This unexpected good news completely ignited their passion. They hummed softly and imagined the beauty of the sea and the beach. Honey, is it okay to let the girls pack their own things? Downstairs, Wang Xinyao, who was sitting next to Yi Xian, was a little worried. After all, Yi Jing and the others are still children. They may not wear the things they should bring, and may bring a lot of things they shouldn't bring. Don't worry, girls have to grow up, and there are many things they need to learn. Yi Xian waved his hand. This was something they had to prepare themselves. They couldn't become flowers in a greenhouse. That's true, but do they know what clothes to bring? They won't just stuff them into the suitcase randomly, right? Wang Xinyao nodded at first, but when she thought about the problem of bringing clothes, she couldn't help feeling a headache. I'm afraid that the clothes they brought with them won't be able to wear. This. Yi Xian grinned bitterly. It was his own fault for neglecting this. These girls were just busy playing and probably didn't think too much about it. Well, Xinyao, let's wait for the kids to finish packing, and then we'll go check again. Yeah, that's fine, let them do it on their own first. Having made up their minds, the two continued to sit downstairs for a while, thinking that the children should have been almost done with the cleaning before they went into the children's room. Mom and Dad, you came at the right time. We have packed everything. As soon as the two of them walked in, the little guys looked at their little boxes proudly, but this made the two of them even more worried. Children, open your suitcases first. Mom and Dad will help you check if you have brought your belongings, okay? Okay. The children nodded obediently and opened their boxes one by one. Forehead. Chapter 449 Customized Edition. Yishi's box had just been opened when Yixian and Wang Xinya wiped their sweat, feeling both amused and helpless. No wonder the suitcase is so packed with stuff, there are 2 sets of thick clothes alone. The same was true for the other girls, there were more or less a lot of thick clothes in their boxes. My little ancestors. The weather over there is very warm, there is no need to bring such thick clothes. Yixian said helplessly, and the children were confused and asked Yixian back. But Dad, won't it be very cold in the morning and evening? Yes, if the sea breeze is too strong, it will be very cold. If we catch a cold, we won't be able to play there. Well, I lose. Yixian rubbed his temple with a wry smile, then took out his cell phone, checked the weather forecast for the Maldives, and spoke to the girls. Look, Dad didn't lie to you. It's very warm there. You don't need to bring those thick clothes. So you won't be able to use these even if you bring them, and they'll make the box heavier, right? Well, if you're worried about the temperature difference between morning and night, just bring a light jacket. Upon hearing this, the girls blushed, scratched their hair in embarrassment, and had to start cleaning again. Wang Xinyao and Yixian were not idle either. They went next door and started packing their luggage. Because she was worried, Wang Xinyao went back and forth to check on the children several times, and only then was everything cleaned up. At this time, Longling also began to contact the airport to arrange a charter flight for the next morning. Although it was a bit rushed, after some contact, the airport did not dare to neglect it and the charter flight was arranged. The next morning, Yixian got up early, prepared breakfast for the children, and also prepared some other delicious food to eat on the plane. The kids were so excited that they almost couldn't sleep last night, and they woke up earlier than the alarm clock in the morning. Hey, we can set off today. Maldives, here we come. Do you smell the fragrance? Daddy has started making delicious food again. As soon as they got up, the children smelled an enticing aroma, and they quickly washed and changed their clothes, then ran excitedly into the kitchen. Dad, what's good to eat this morning? We smelled it just after we woke up. It smells so good. Look, Daddy has prepared some snacks, that's awesome. As soon as the children walked into the kitchen, they began to look around, wanting to see what delicious food there was. You little greedy cats, go call your mom, Sister Long Ling, Uncle Tang Hao and the others to have breakfast. Daddy will serve it to you. Hey, let's go now. The children quickly stopped drooling and ran out happily. Mom! Come and have breakfast. Sister Long Ling, hurry up, we will finish eating soon. Uncle Tang Hao, where are you? We can have breakfast now. Suddenly, the children's voices reached Yixian's ears in the kitchen, and Yixian shook his head. These girls are extra energetic this morning. After a while, everyone sat together, drooling at the pot of seafood porridge cooked by Yixian. It smells so good. Master, you prepared such a rich meal this morning? It turns out that my dad made seafood porridge, it's so tempting. A good day starts with breakfast. These seafood porridges are made from the ingredients that were not finished yesterday. Yixian thought that they were going to Maldives anyway, and it would not be good to keep these seafoods alone, so he simply made them into breakfast. It not only contains blue dragon shrimp tail meat, but also a head of fine dried abalone and some other seafood. This is said to be ordinary seafood porridge, but it contains some top quality ingredients, which is really a waste of ingredients. Master, if those Michelin chefs knew that you used these ingredients to make seafood porridge, they would probably be so angry that they would vomit blood. Longling was enjoying the delicious seafood porridge while making a joke. After all, these ingredients are so precious that you may not be able to get them even if you have money. If this is in the hands of world-class chefs, they will have to come up with some new ideas instead of just stewing it in a simple pot. Okay, why can't you shut your mouth when you eat? You can wash the dishes after you finish eating. Yixian rolled his eyes at Longling, causing Wang Xinyao to cover her mouth and laugh. Ah! Master, you are too cruel. Longling pouted in grievance, but her mouth did not stop moving at all, as if she was determined to make up for the cost of washing the dishes. After some chatting and laughing, everyone finished their breakfast, packed up, and then Tang Hao drove them to the airport. At the same time, at the airport, a supervisor in a suit and tie was waiting at the entrance to welcome Yi Xian and others. Here, several airport executives had just returned from outside and saw their supervisor standing at the airport gate. They couldn't help but feel curious. Huh? Why is the supervisor standing here? I don't know, but looking at the situation, could it be that he's waiting for someone? Are you kidding me? Who can ask the supervisor to come out and wait in person? Let's go over and ask him. Unable to guess what it was, several senior executives simply walked up, greeted him, and then started asking questions. Hello, boss. Why are you here? Yes, boss, what can I do for you? Manager, you are not waiting for someone, are you? Watching the few people coming up, the supervisor nodded slightly, still waiting in a very respectful posture. This. After getting the supervisor's reply, several people were shocked and looked at the supervisor's actions with trembling eyes. I saw that his suit was arranged very neatly, and he was rubbing his hands nervously, his palms were slightly sweaty. He is looking forward with his waist slightly bent, which is completely different from the supervisor who usually walks with a breeze and acts efficiently. Several senior executives were increasingly confused. Who on earth could this supervisor be to be greeted like this? They couldn't figure it out, so they didn't leave. It was not easy to ask more questions, so they just stopped and waited together. Apart from anything else, they just want to take a good look at the other party's background. At this time, no one spoke, and the slightly solemn atmosphere made several senior executives a little nervous. After all, it has come to this, how can the other party's status be small? After a while, the supervisor and several senior executives saw the Rolls-Royce Phantom Extended Edition driving towards them. Here I come. The supervisor was stunned at first, and then quickly walked forward. Is this a stretched custom version of the Rolls-Royce Phantom series? Chapter 450, It's Not Good. Oh my god, he actually drives such a luxury car, what kind of status does he have? No wonder even the supervisor. Before they even saw the other party get out of the car, several airport executives were already unable to keep calm just by seeing the Rolls-Royce. On this side, Yi Xian and others also got out of the car one after another. The supervisor also greeted them at the door of the car, bent down and bowed slightly. Mr. Yi, you are here. Yi Xian smiled and nodded, first glanced inside the airport, and then continued to ask. Is the charter plane ready? Mr. Yi, we are ready and waiting for you and your family to come. The supervisor did not dare to delay and nodded quickly. Okay, that's trouble. As he spoke, Yi Xian walked to the back of the car and took the children and his own suitcase down. The supervisor was shocked when he saw this, and quickly stepped forward to help pick up the luggage. The few senior executives who were still standing there in a daze also reacted at this time and hurried forward to help carry the luggage. Mr. Yi, shall I take you to the charter plane? The supervisor, holding a box in one hand, politely asked Yi Xian for instructions. Good. Mr. Yi, please come this way. As he spoke, the supervisor and several senior executives helped carry Yi Xian's luggage and sent him all the way to the chartered plane. That is not all, the luggage was also properly put away by the supervisor and several senior executives. Mr. Yi, we will take you here. Have a pleasant journey. After putting their things away, the supervisors and senior executives waved goodbye to Yi Xian respectfully, then turned around and left, getting off the chartered plane. Call. Standing below, the supervisor finally breathed a sigh of relief as he watched the plane door gradually close. Then they watched the charter plane take off and gradually disappear above the clouds. Only then did the senior executives walk over to the supervisor in horror. Manager, who is this person? Too young. Director, please tell us, what are their identities? Who is this Mr. Yi? We have never heard of him. Several high-ranking officials did not dare to look down on Yi Xian and his companions at this time. They welcomed him in. Bring on a charter flight. The supervisor heaved a sigh of relief. He was even more curious. Even if we put everything else aside, Yi Xian's manners, conversation and temperament alone are not that of an ordinary person. Alas, you don't know this person's identity, that's normal. The supervisor sighed and looked at them deeply. Let me tell you, this Mr. Yi, let alone me, even the top dignitaries in Jinling and even China are nothing in front of him. Don't think I'm exaggerating. I can say this, all the rumors you hear about Mr. Yi in the future are not exaggerated at all, but too insignificant. I won't tell you anything else for now, but the Qingling potion we used for free before was developed and distributed by Mr. Yi. Boom! After hearing the supervisor's introduction, several senior executives felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck them on the forehead, and the shock in their hearts was like a thunderstorm. Ah! This Mr. Yi is the one who developed the Qingling potion. That's a really great status. It's simply beyond measure. It's incredible. What we just encountered turned out to be such a being. The top executives were murmuring to themselves, unable to calm down for a long time. Who could have imagined that they had just passed by the most outstanding figure in China? On the plane here, the children had just sat down and they couldn't suppress their excitement anymore. They hummed softly and admired the beautiful scenery outside the window. The vast blue sky and the soft white clouds were all frozen in the children's innocent eyes at this moment. Next stop. Maldives. Here we come. I'm so excited. We're almost there, at one of the most beautiful places in the world. Mom and Dad, look quickly, isn't that our villa over there? It's become so small. Longling sat aside holding a tablet computer, happily watching the energetic appearance of the girls, and felt emotional in his heart. Sure enough, this is what children are like. They will be so excited whenever they go out to play, not to mention these little guys. Okay, you little guys, why don't you just behave yourself for now and save your energy for the Maldives? But we can't control it. The little ones pouted and spoke to Sister Long Ling in a baby voice. Sister Long Ling rarely comes out to play, so you're not excited at all? Hee, that must be the case. Sister Long Ling studies stocks and finance on her computer every day. Ah. No wonder, Sister Long Ling must have bored herself to death. She must go out more often in the future. That's right. Sister Long Yin has already told Sister Long Ling not to be obsessed with money. There is no end to making money. Listening to the innocent words of the little guys, Long Ling's eyes turned black and he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. My goodness, where were you little guys while I was running around the world? After hearing that there is no dragon spirit, I think what the girl said makes sense. Yi Shen, who was standing by, couldn't help laughing when he heard this, which made Long Ling feel even more aggrieved. She looked at Yi Shen eagerly and said, Master, they don't know, why do you say that? Besides, you girls come to look at my computer. I'm not looking at finance. I'm making travel plans. As he spoke, Long Ling turned over his tablet computer, which was filled with travel notes about the Maldives. Travel guide. I want to see it too. Sister Long Ling, you should have told me earlier. Don't forget us when you have such an interesting event. Let us help you, Sister Long Ling. We also like to make strategies. The little guy's eyes lit up and they quickly came over. Now you know how powerful Sister Long Ling is. I always do my homework in advance before doing anything. Long Ling suddenly became proud as well, being surrounded by several little ones like a king of children. He must be enjoying it so much. Look, little ones, these are all the activities you can enjoy in the Maldives. Are you looking forward to it? Looking through the posts, there are many recommended projects and attractions about the Maldives, which dazzled the little ones. I see. You can actually choose your own island in the Maldives. That's so interesting. This is going to be fun. I heard from the guide that we still need to buy sunscreen, otherwise we won't look good if we get tanned. Chapter 451 Luxury. The girls looked at the guide introductions with great excitement and found them novel. They didn't expect that there were so many different places in the Maldives. This is very interesting, right? Now let's listen to your sister Long Ling introduce my preliminary strategy to you. Long Ling narrowed her eyes and smiled, then began to give a detailed introduction to the children fluently. Look, after we get off the plane, we'll go to the top luxury island hotel we booked to check in and put our things away first. Then, since we are tired from the long journey, we can first go to a restaurant to check in, experience the local specialties, and then go to the beach to swim and play with sand. After we finish all this, we'll go back to the hotel, go to the spa to relax with a massage, have a good night's sleep, and start the next day's itinerary. As for the second day, there are even more fun things to do. We can go on a snorkeling adventure, enjoy marine sports, rent a boat to go fishing and sightseeing at sea, and watch the night view of the island at night. Of course, now that we are here, we have to go to the place where the raw materials are produced. There must be a lot of delicious food waiting for us. How about it, doesn't it sound tempting? After these words were spoken, the little ones were completely dumbfounded. So much information lingered in their minds that they were unable to react. However, when they thought of the delicious food, tropical island customs, and beautiful scenery on the island, they wished there was a portal in front of them so that they could rush to the island right now. That's great. There are so many fun things to do. Sister Long Ling is so amazing, I like this strategy so much. Yeah, I love the Maldives, it's paradise. After a long silence, several girls sat in their seats, dancing with excitement, and continued to read the strategy recommendations made by others, not wanting to miss out on any fun thing. These girls and Long Ling are so excited. Wang Xinyao covered her mouth and smiled, and Yi Xian also said happily. They are all children. Long Ling doesn't have the personality of a child. As he spoke, Yi Xian took out the desserts and snacks he had made in the morning, distributed them to the children and Long Ling, and said with a smile. Look how excited you are. Eat something. Don't be listless when you get there. Hee, how is this possible, master? I have endless energy. Long Ling took the snacks with a giggle, and the little ones also followed Long Ling's example and pouted at Yi Xian. That's right, Dad. When we get to the Maldives, we will be very energetic. We almost didn't fall asleep last night because we were so happy. By the way, Dad, how long will it take us to get to the Maldives? Are we going to be there soon? We can't wait. While Yi Xia was happily eating snacks, she asked about the time Yi Xian would arrive. It's still early. We just flew out for a short time. Just wait patiently. After hearing what Yi Xian said, the girls looked out the window and calmed down a little, but they were still eating snacks and making strategies, waiting for the arrival of Maldives. As time passed, the children got tired of discussing strategies, so they closed their eyes and took a nap for a while. Long Ling also rubbed her eyes, felt drowsy for a while, and then fell asleep. Even Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao closed their eyes and rested for a while. The children slept so soundly on the plane that they didn't know how long they had slept, but when they opened their eyes, they became excited. Wow! Islands and beaches, are we there yet? Mom and Dad, there are so many islands down there. Is this the Maldives? Sister Long Ling, wake up quickly, we are almost there. The beautiful scenery outside the plane window made the little ones unable to control themselves, and Long Ling, who was still dozing off, also woke up. How's it going? Hurry up, huh? We'll be there soon. Yi Xian smiled slightly, and the plane gradually flew lower and lower, and soon landed at the airport. Wow! It's so hot in the Maldives. As soon as they got off the plane, the little ones felt a heat wave and quickly took off their coats. Daddy is not kidding you, in this kind of weather, are you torturing yourself by bringing thick clothes? Yi Xian asked with a smile, and the little guys nodded heavily, and were also glad that their parents checked their boxes. After leaving the airport, Yi Xian and others went directly to the port and chose to take a boat to the reserved island. In the Maldives, every island is a hotel, which is a very different experience. Woohoo! We're in the Maldives. The scenery here is so beautiful. It's fun to ride on a boat. The water is so clear. Soon, amid the cheers of the girls sitting on the boat, everyone arrived at the island and was taken to the hotel by a special car. Sirs and madams, please go to the front desk to check in. We will deliver your luggage to your room. After getting off the car, the driver in a tuxedo respectfully guided Yi Xian and others to the hotel, and a special person came to take care of the luggage. Turning their heads and following the direction indicated by the driver, everyone was immediately attracted by the hotel in front of them. This is a large townhouse with a maritime feel, and it is the largest building on the island. The luxury of this hotel can only be described as elegant, magnificent, and magnificent. At the entrance of the hotel, there are many exquisitely carved statues, and a large fountain is flowing with a rushing sound. Around the hotel is a garden full of flowers and a lawn full of lush and neat wheat fields, swaying slightly with the sea breeze blowing in from afar. What a beautiful place! Is this where we're going to live? Dad, can we take a picture here? Wow! This place is so beautiful, can we play here forever? The children looked at the luxurious hotel in front of them with great joy, thinking that they could take pictures and play here now, but they were stopped by Yi Xian. Don't get excited yet, we still have other things to do. Let's go check in first. Okay, Dad. In this way, the little guys had to put aside their thoughts on playing for the time being and follow Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao to check in. The island where everyone is at the moment is the most luxurious and extravagant island in the entire Maldives, Villa Private Island. In addition to the breathtaking natural scenery on the island, this hotel is another major feature. This villa-style hotel is not a traditional hotel, but a stand-alone beach villa. The prices of hotels here are also quite high, and are definitely not affordable for ordinary tourists. Chapter 452, It's Hard to Laugh or Cry. Wow! Is this the house we live in? As soon as they entered the reserved villa, the little ones were stunned and ran around the house excitedly. This room is absolutely the ultimate in luxury. Even on this Vina private island, it is a model and top-notch. The villa inside contains many luxurious bedrooms, which is more than enough to accommodate Yi Xian's family. The unimaginable luxury, including the exquisite modern marine-style design, lingers in every corner of the villa. This is a private villa with independent space and independent beach. It can definitely maintain quiet and peace and is the best place for leisure. As long as you walk out the door, you can step on the soft sand, admire the sparkling beach, and fall asleep peacefully listening to the gentle sound of the sea breeze and waves. Even within the villa, there is a spacious outdoor space, with an independent oversized swimming pool and an independent courtyard. Every design reveals ingenuity. So no matter where you stand in the villa or from what angle you appreciate it, it is always a pleasing sight. What is even more eye-catching is the swimming pool that merges with the blue sea. It stands between the outdoor terrace and the garden, giving people a dreamy feeling. On the stone pillars of the villa, many mythological portraits were carved by the most skillful craftsmen. It seems that this place is no longer just a villa, but a Garden of Eden that blends ocean civilization and modern civilization. This place is so beautiful. It's like heaven. Dad, I love this place so much, it's so beautiful. Just staying in here makes me feel comfortable. The children walked around the villa and were curious about everything. The more they looked, the more shocked and fond they were. They didn't expect that this villa could blend so appropriately with the beach, sea, and blue sky and become a part of nature. The interior design and decoration style are simple but not simplistic, and the current smart home system has been added, which makes the children curious. Remote-controlled curtains, furniture, and electrical appliances also become children's toys at this time, and they have a lot of fun playing with them. Sometimes he moves the curtains, sometimes he turns on the projector, as if he has endless energy. These girls are so troublesome. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao were packing their luggage while listening to the girls making noises inside, and they didn't know whether to laugh or cry. However, after packing up, Yi Xian didn't let the little ones continue to make noise, and took the children to sleep. After all, in order to have better fun, it is better to reverse the time difference first. I don't know how long I slept. When the children woke up, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao were still not awake. What should I do? Mom and Dad haven't woken up yet. Yi Shi tiptoed to her sisters. She wanted to go out and play, but she also didn't want to disturb her parents' sleep. But Yi Xia suddenly had an idea and looked at the other girls and whispered. Why don't we go out and play by ourselves? Let Mom and Dad continue to rest first. Ah. This is not good, Mom and Dad might get worried. It's okay, Xiaoxi, we'll just walk around the hotel. But don't worry, we won't run far. Afterwards, with the comfort of Yi Xia and several other girls, Yi Jing still couldn't resist the temptation to go out and play, so she tiptoed out of the room. The children first walked around the beach outside the private villa, but when they felt it was boring, they walked outside along the same route they came from. This hotel is actually quite big. Yes, it's different from the usual regular hotels. Maldives is so interesting. This hotel is actually an island. Wandering around the hotel, the little guys couldn't help but feel curious. After all, this was something they had never encountered before. Their stroll also attracted the attention of many people in the hotel. Several little ones were holding hands, and several pairs of cute and innocent eyes were looking around. This scene was unforgettable in everyone's heart. That natural smile, curved eyebrows, and big watery eyes are a little playful, but more of curiosity and exploration. Their rosy little faces are glowing and they are wearing cute little clothes, just like a few little angels coming to the earth. Oh my God? Where did this little cutie come from? Ah! This is so cute, I can't resist it at all. Whose child is this? He is so lucky. The passers-by around were almost going crazy when they saw this scene, especially many girls, whose eyes kept staring at the girls. At this moment, the hotel manager also noticed this side. Seeing a few little guys seem to be walking aimlessly in the hotel, he walked up to them with concern. Children, have you lost your parents? No, uncle, our parents are still sleeping, let's come out and take a look. The children pouted and shook their heads. This lovely scene made the hotel manager smile and speak softly. So that's how it is. Do you want your uncle to take you to have a look? But we don't know uncle. The children shook their heads weakly and looked at the hotel manager with some wariness. Haha, you kids are quite safety conscious, that's good. But Uncle is not a bad guy. Look at the badge on his chest. He is the manager of this hotel. Ah, it seems so. A few girls took a look at the hotel manager's badge, hung their heads and smiled embarrassedly. Hey, thank you, Uncle. This place is too big and we don't know where to go. Ah, it's okay, Uncle will take you guys around. With that, the little ones felt relieved and agreed to follow the hotel manager to have a look around. And the conversation between them and the manager just now was also heard by many people around them. Looking at the girls' backs as they followed the manager hand in hand, people were filled with emotion, with a hint of envy in their eyes. Oh my, whose child is this? It's so cute. I wish I had a few cute little girls like this. They are really lovable. I can't envy you. Who knows what good things you did in your previous life? While everyone was watching and talking, the manager brought a few little ones to the hotel restaurant and started introducing them. Children, this is the restaurant of our hotel. The chefs here are all very good. You must come and try it if you have the chance. Chapter 453 Worried. As the manager said, the chefs of this very private island restaurant are indeed famous chefs from all over the world. The overall decoration here is also extremely luxurious, including private rooms and private seats, all of which are coastal themed. The blue and white decoration may be simple, but it is definitely intriguing. Okay, Uncle, let's come back here to eat after our parents wake up. Hey, Uncle, you don't know, our dad is also a great cook, the best in the world. Uncle, come and try the dishes our dad makes if you have a chance. They are really delicious. The manager found the girls' serious expressions very amusing and said cheerfully. Ha, you kids are so humorous. But since it's your father's craft, I can't enjoy it. Come on, Uncle will take you to see the swimming pool of our hotel. Aha! Having said that, they had almost finished touring the restaurant, so the manager led the little ones towards the swimming pool. The swimming pool in Vila Private Island Hotel is quite large. After all, this is a coastal hotel. Wow! This hotel is much bigger than the one we booked. It looks so comfortable. It must be fun to play there. Well, unfortunately, Mom and Dad are not here, so we can only watch first. Looking at the swimming pool, the children wanted to go down and have some fun, but since Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao were not there, they had to give up the idea for the time being. Children, we have set up a massage and wellness center over here at the swimming pool. If you are tired from playing, you can go in and relax. The manager pointed to an entrance on the other side and introduced that he was quite patient with these cute little guys. Thank you, Uncle. We will definitely come. The girls nodded and then asked curiously. By the way, Uncle, is there any fun place in the hotel that we can go and play first? Yeah, our parents haven't woken up yet, and now we're so bored. Uncle, you must know this. The manager was stunned at first, then he slapped his head suddenly and started to think about it. Yes. I remember now, there is a small amusement park in our hotel. Playground? The children's eyes lit up and they couldn't help but get excited, and then they started clamoring to go and see it. Really, Uncle? Can you take us to see it? This must be fun, right? I want to go. Uncle, is the playground far away? Can we go there now? Thinking of those fun rides, the children could hardly control their excitement, and the manager agreed immediately. Don't worry, it's not far. Uncle will take you there right away. Great. Thank you, Uncle. Afterwards, under the guidance of the hotel manager, the little ones came to an entrance outside the hotel. As expected, after walking in, they saw many amusement facilities. Although this is just a small playground, it has all the entertainment facilities such as carousel, basketball, swings, etc., which immediately attracted all the children's attention. Yeah. Here we come to the amusement park. Let's go ride the carousel first. Great, let's just play here and wait for Mom and Dad to wake up, then we can go play somewhere else. The children thought so in their hearts, and did not think about whether Yi Xian knew where they were now, and ran to the various amusement facilities to play. At this moment, Yi Xian just woke up in the room. He looked around with sleepy eyes, but was suddenly stunned and all sleepiness disappeared. Except for Wang Xinyao, who was rubbing her eyes to wake up, the other little ones had already disappeared. Are the girls awake? Yi Xian quickly got up and put on his clothes, then walked around the room in a hurry, and even searched the independent beach outside, but he did not see any of the little guys. They're not here? They must have gone out. Yi Xian couldn't help but feel a little worried, and just then Wang Xinyao changed her clothes and came out. Seeing that Yi Xian's face didn't look good, Wang Xinyao was also worried and asked softly. Honey, aren't the kids outside? Xinyao, the children must be out, let's go out and look for them. Ah. Then let's go, husband. This made both of them feel a huge weight hanging in their hearts. After all, this was an unfamiliar place, and it was somewhat dangerous for the children to run around like this. Afterwards, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao searched the restaurant, swimming pool, sauna, and gym in the hotel, but still couldn't find the girls. Where on earth did these girls go? Wang Xinyao's eyes were red, and she could only look at Yi Xian helplessly. Yi Xian was also extremely anxious. He looked around and suddenly saw the sign for the hotel's children's playground. Xinyao, let's go over there and take a look. For some reason, Yi Xian suddenly had a strong premonition that these little guys should be in there. Okay, husband. Wang Xinyao also nodded heavily and followed Yi Xian in. Only then did the two of them breathe a sigh of relief. Over here, a few little guys were having a lot of fun playing on the seesaw and didn't notice Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao coming in at all. When Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao saw the familiar little guys, they said nothing more and walked over together. You little guys, don't run around anymore next time, or your parents will worry. Yi Xian picked up Yi Jing and Yi Xia, and Wang Xinyao also squatted down and hugged the remaining girls. Dad, we know we were wrong. Seeing the looks of Wang Xinyao and Yi Xian, the little guys all hung their heads, feeling a little guilty. They were happy to go out and play just now, but how worried their parents must be. You must not run around anymore in the future. Even if you want to go somewhere, you must let mom and dad know. Remember? Yeah, we got it, Dad. However, this sudden heartwarming scene also startled the manager next to him. Before he could react, he saw two figures running towards the children. No matter who it is, they would probably be scared after seeing the situation just now. However, seeing how intimate Yi Xian was with the children, the manager knew that he was the children's father, so he stepped forward and greeted him. Hello sir, I am the manager of this hotel. Chapter 454 recorded. Hello? What was this just now? Yi Xian turned his head and looked over with a smile, also somewhat confused. Dad, this is what happened. Just now, this uncle was taking us around the hotel. Yes, this uncle was very nice to us and even introduced us along the way. Dad, uncle is the manager of the hotel. He took us to visit the restaurant and swimming pool, and there are many interesting things. So that is how it is. Yi Xian nodded and thanked the supervisor. Thank you so much for helping to look after these girls. You are too polite, sir. This is also our duty. The supervisor smiled and waved his hand, looking at Yi Xian's family who were all present, and then continued to introduce them. Sir, now is the perfect time for you and your family to go to the beach and play. Our hotel provides you with swimsuits of various styles and colors, and you can change them at will. At this time and season, the beach scenery is very beautiful. I strongly recommend you to take your family to see it. If you need additional facilities such as parasols and sun loungers, you can always contact our hotel and someone will bring them to the beach for you. The little guys believed in what the manager said and became interested immediately. Dad, let's go over and take a look. It sounds interesting. I want to go play with you, Dad. The beach and the sea must be beautiful. Then let's go, Dad, and play on the beach. In fact, Yi Xian had originally planned to take the children to the beach to play after waking up, but he didn't expect this to happen. Seeing that the children were all very excited, Yi Xian simply nodded and smiled at them. No problem, let's go change into our swimsuits first. Great. We can go to the beach. The children cheered, and then followed Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao to the locker room led by the manager. Girls, follow your mother inside, we'll meet outside. Hey, okay Dad. After arriving here, Wang Xinyao took the children in to change into their swimsuits, while Yi Xian walked into the men's locker room by himself. After a while, Yi Xian changed his clothes first and came to the beach. At this moment, many tourists have gathered on the Golden Beach, some are playing and joking, some are enjoying the sunbath, and some are swimming in the shallow water. But without exception, all of their attention was unconsciously attracted to Yi Xian. Yi Xian was wearing a pair of swimming trunks and his upper body was bare, and his powerful muscles were displayed in front of everyone. In the sunlight, Yi Xian's upper body muscles are like an ancient Greek statue. The details carved with knives and axes are full of oppression, and the golden proportions are 1 in a million. The abdominal muscles, as neat and broad as chocolate, are also very ornamental. The strong arms and broad chest muscles are like a mountain, full of a sense of security. Did you see that guy's muscles? My God, they are so handsome. He's as majestic as a bodybuilder, and his looks are so good, wow. Oh my God, this is too exciting. I have never seen such beautiful abdominal muscles, it's amazing. When people saw Yi Xian's muscles, they were all shocked. Their incredulous eyes kept staying on Yi Xian, not daring to delay for even a second. There are also many fitness enthusiasts on this beach, but when they see Yi Xian's muscular body, they all feel ashamed. They may have bigger muscles than others, but the muscle texture, symmetrical beauty, and the details that Yi Xian displayed are something they can never compare to. In just a moment, Yi Xian had become the focus of the entire place. Tourists, both male and female, stopped what they were doing and stared at Yi Xian, who was waiting for Wang Xinyo and the girls. Here, Wang Xinyo also changed into swimsuits with a few little ones, and they ran out first, looking around for Yi Xian. Dad, we're out too. Where are you? Hey, Dad's over there. Let's go over there. Hey, Dad's muscles are so handsome, just like armor. At this time, the little ones had also changed into beautiful and small swimsuits, and were trotting towards Yi Xian lively and cleverly. Suddenly, the people who were looking at Yi Xian just now were attracted by the little guys and were stunned. Apart from words like cute, pretty, and innocent to describe children, they simply couldn't find any other words to describe these little guys. Especially the scene where the children ran towards Yi Xian with smiles on their faces made everyone's blood boil. It was so cute that it was beyond words. These little guys are so cute, so adorable. Ah! I love them so much, they are so cute. This family is really very good looking. No matter whether the people present were male or female, and no matter how old they were, when they looked at these little guys, they couldn't help but feel that they were extremely cute, and their eyes were filled with love. However, the children had no time to pay attention to the tourists who were talking about them. They just looked around with their little eyes and admired the beautiful beach. The ocean in the Maldives is like a mirror of the sky. The blue ocean is so clear that you can clearly see the fish and corals in it. The white clouds in the sky were reflected on the water, making it hard to tell which side was the sky and which side was the sea, as if in a dream. The beach is also golden under the sunshine, accompanied by the bustling crowd and the gentle sea breeze. It is equally fascinating. So the blue sky, white clouds, coconut trees, crowds, wooden houses, everything together form a beautiful picture. Just one look at it is enough to make you fall in love with it. Wow! It's so beautiful here. It's worthy of being the Maldives. Dad, this is definitely the most beautiful beach and sea we have ever seen. Hee hee, this place is great, I love it so much. The girls stretched out their legs and ran freely on the beach, their eyes filled with the beautiful scenery here, and they wanted to record it all with their eyes. Wang Xinyo opened her arms and bathed in the sea breeze. She was quite fond of the scenery here and said to Yi Xian beside her with emotion, "Honey, the Maldives is really beautiful. No wonder so many young couples like to come here for their honeymoon. Then let's treat this as a honeymoon." Chapter 455, Getting Brave. Yi Xian smiled slightly, gently put his arm around Wang Xinyao's waist, and the two of them watched the children running around on the beach together. "Hubby, let's take the kids swimming." Wang Xinyo looked at the girls lovingly, thinking that since they had already changed into their swimsuits, it would be a bit of a waste if they didn't go swimming in the water. "Okay, Xinyao, let's go." Hearing this, Yi Xian nodded, and the two of them walked over to the girls and stopped the little ones who were about to continue running. "You little guys, stop running, let's go to the beach and swim." "Yeah, Mom, you can go with us too." The children were also very interested in swimming, so they followed Yi Xian and Wang Xinyo to the shallow water. As soon as they arrived here, the children jumped into the water without hesitation, feeling the coolness and comfort brought by the seawater. Yi Xian also took Bai Zhixi's hand and slowly walked into the water. The water was not deep, but it was deep enough for swimming. The children swam in the water, then dived in to grab a handful of sand under their feet, and then started a water fight. They were having a lot of fun. After a while, the children were tired of playing, so Yi Xian took them ashore and continued playing on the beach. "Dad, let's go see the coconut trees." "Dad, look, there are still many coconuts growing on the coconut tree. I want to drink coconut juice. The coconut juice here must be very fresh." After walking a few steps, the children's attention was attracted by the rows of coconut trees on the beach. They couldn't help drooling at the thought of the sweet coconuts. "You guys are really a bunch of complete greedy little cats." Yi Xian smiled helplessly. He knew what the little girls were thinking, so he simply led them over. Great! Let's go find coconuts. Dad, we can't wait any longer. If we're any later, the coconuts will be eaten by others. Coconut, coconut, here we come, wait for us. When the little guys saw Yi Xian agreed, they couldn't wait any longer and ran over excitedly. Coming to a sturdy coconut tree, the children raised their heads and looked up. Although there were many coconuts growing on it, they were too high. What should I do? This coconut tree is too tall. Mom and Dad would never allow us to climb trees, and we don't dare to climb this. Then what should we do? This coconut won't fall down by itself. After studying for a while, there was still no solution and the children became anxious. The sweet and delicious coconuts are right above my head, but I can't find a way to pick them. However, just when the little ones were a little disappointed, Yi Xia suddenly discovered something and shouted excitedly to the other girls. There are coconuts here, come over here quickly. The other little guys also hurried over excitedly and saw Yi Xia squatting on the ground, studying the big coconuts in front of him. It's a coconut. Great! We have coconut juice to drink. But how did these coconuts fall? Was it the wind that blew them down? No, it must be because the coconut is too heavy and it fell down by itself. The children squatted together and studied them for a while. They found that although these coconuts were on the ground, they still looked very fresh. If they were shaken gently, they were full of coconut juice. Here, while the children were still studying the coconuts that fell on the ground, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao also walked up. These little guys are so greedy. When it comes to food, they are so enthusiastic. Wang Xinyao shook her head helplessly, looking at the girls who had already run forward. She really didn't know what to say. Ha, that's how kids are, but as long as they're happy. Yi Xian smiled and nodded. The two were still talking when a few little guys came running over holding coconuts. Mom and Dad, look, what did we find? Hey, we found a big coconut. We're in for a treat. These coconuts are so heavy, there must be a lot of coconut juice in them. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao were stunned when they saw the funny way the children came over with coconuts in their arms. They thought to themselves, are these little guys going to climb the tree to pick coconuts? Yi Jing, how did you pick these? You didn't climb the tree, did you? Wang Xinyao stepped forward to ask with even more worry, and Yi Xian also looked at the maids in confusion. We don't have this one, don't worry, Mom and Dad, we found it under the coconut tree. That's fine, as long as you didn't climb the tree. In this way, Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao finally felt relieved. However, these little guys still looked unsatisfied and said to Yi Xian, Hey, Dad, let's go find some more. These are not enough for us to eat. Alright then, take us to find it. Yi Xian also felt happy. If he could pick this up, there would be no need to climb the tree for anything else. Wouldn't it be nice to pick something up? Yeah, Mom and Dad are here. The little ones nodded excitedly, and then Yi Xian led them to collect coconuts. For example, it is now the time when coconuts are ripe. After a short walk, the little ones found quite a few coconuts. Ah! What is this? But at this moment, Yi Yan suddenly screamed, startled by something, and quickly threw herself into Yi Xian's arms. Xiao Yun, what's wrong? What did you see? Yi Xian hugged Yi Yan to comfort her, and the other little ones and Wang Xinyao also looked at her with concern. Dad, I was just looking for coconuts, but I saw a monster. Ha? Monster? Yi Xian frowned and looked in the direction of Yi Yan's finger. He saw a vague outline and then he understood what this meant. Xiao Yun, don't worry, this is not a monster, it's a coconut crab. Coconut crab? Dad, is this a coconut or a crab? When Yi Yun thought of the ugly appearance of that guy just now, her heart still trembled. She was even more confused when she heard what Yi Xian said. Okay, it's okay, we're in for a treat tonight. Yi Xian smiled and put Yi Yun down from his arms, picked up a stone and waved to the children. Follow Daddy, I'll take you to have a good look. Aha! With Yi Xian leading the way, the children suddenly became much braver. Chapter 456 found something good. After touching it, the thing was finally revealed to everyone in its entirety. This is a huge coconut crab, which is currently enjoying the cool under a coconut tree and ignores the arrival of Yi Xian and several other little guys. Dad, that monster just now was this. Yi Yan nervously pulled Yi Xian's hand, still a little afraid of this strange-looking huge coconut crab. It's okay, this is a relatively large crab. Let's try it tonight. Yi Xian squinted his eyes and looked at the coconut crab. It was quite rare for a coconut crab to grow so big. So you must try it carefully, it must be a delicious food that will satisfy your appetite. Immediately afterwards, Yi Xian tiptoed forward, holding the stone in his hand, and hit the coconut crab on the head. Suddenly, this guy trembled and lost all reaction. He was knocked unconscious by Yi Xian. Go away, girls. We have come back with a lot of rewards today. Yi Xian threw away the stone, carried the coconut crab on his shoulder, and prepared to take the children back. The children also held a lot of coconuts, their little faces flushed with excitement, and followed Yi Xian. Wang Xinyao followed along, watching Yi Xian carrying a big crab and the girls holding a big coconut. She smiled and took out her phone to secretly take a picture. Afterwards, Yi Xian took the children all the way to the hotel kitchen, ready to borrow a knife to chop coconuts. However, the chefs were still busy, and suddenly they saw Yi Xian walking carrying a giant coconut crab, and they were also scared. What are you doing, sir? It's okay, I just want to lend the knife to the kids to open the coconut, I don't mean any harm. I'm sorry, sir, I was just accidentally scared. The chef wiped his sweat when he heard that. Since they were guests of the hotel, there would be no problem in lending them a knife. Sir, do you need my help? Thanks, I can do it myself. Yi Xian took the knife handed to him by the other party, weighed it lightly in his hand, and couldn't help but sigh. This is a good knife, but it's a bit of a waste to use it to split coconuts. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Xian's hand that was holding the knife suddenly disappeared from the spot, and a cold light flashed from the knife. Suddenly, the kitchen was filled with the flash of swords and sabers. Ah, this? What kind of knife skills are these? Too strong. Just talking about knife skills, we are definitely inferior to him. It's amazing that such a knife can be used like this. All the chefs looked at Yi Xian's knife swinging movements in horror, and they felt more and more shocked in their hearts. Fast, accurate and ruthless, this is definitely the best interpretation of Yi Xian's knife skills. Just now, he was just swinging the knife to open a coconut, but it made them feel scared. They are all top chefs from all over the world, and they believe that they have reached the pinnacle of knife skills. At least, that's what they thought before. But at this moment, when they saw Yi Xian's knife skills, several chefs were confused, their mouths opened wide, and they were completely dizzy with surprise. But Yi Xian ignored the looks of the chefs and opened the coconuts one by one. Finally, Yi Xian inserted the straws prepared in advance and handed the cut coconuts to each of the little guys. All right, girls, drink. Yeah, thanks, Dad. The children couldn't wait any longer and quickly grabbed a coconut each and started drinking from the straws in big gulps. It tastes so good, sweet and refreshing, I like it. Coconut water is the best, I could drink it forever. It's really delicious, great. After the children took a few sips, their eyes lit up. They really liked the sweet and delicious taste of the coconut juice. Here, the chefs were stunned for a long time, and now they are a little sober. However, their palms are still sweating when they recall Yi Xian's actions just now. Sir, your knife skills are amazing. You must be an exceptionally good chef. As they spoke, the chefs walked over to Yi Xian and praised him sincerely. Yi Xian smiled and waved his hand, then remembered the coconut crab and asked several chefs. You're too kind. By the way, masters, could you help me deal with this coconut crab? Of course, sir, we'd love to help you. The chef in charge immediately agreed, took the coconut crab from Yi Xian and put it on the chopping board. Thank you so much, otherwise it would be inconvenient for me to do it. After thanking several chefs, Yi Xian saw that it was almost time, so he took the children back to the private villa. Xinyao, Longling, come and try some fresh coconut juice. After entering the room, Yi Xian gave Wang Xinyao and Longling each an open coconut with a straw. Thank you, master. This coconut juice is delicious. I love it. Longling took a bite and immediately loved it, putting it into his mouth in big mouthfuls. Sister Longling, it's such a pity that you didn't go out to play with us today. The children were not idle either. They excitedly told Longling about their outing today and finally emphasized the big coconut crab. Didn't you see Sister Longling? That coconut crab is really huge, like a giant monster. We're definitely not kidding, Dad said it's super rare. Sister Longling, we still have a chance to see it. It will be our dinner later. Hearing what the girl said, Longling didn't pay much attention, but when she heard that there would be delicious food in the evening, she suddenly became excited. Really? We can eat it tonight? That's great. They are all greedy cats. Yi Xian shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. When it comes to eating, they are really more enthusiastic than anything else. In the evening, everyone's dinner was coconut crab, which was also something the girls in Longling looked forward to. However, it must be said that the coconut crabs prepared by the famous chefs in the hotel restaurant, whether they are steamed, salt-baked, pan-fried, or eaten in other ways, are all extremely fresh and sweet, leaving you with an endless aftertaste. After dinner, Longling suddenly remembered that he had not visited the manufacturer yet, so it was time to put this matter on the agenda. After all, I came to Maldives this time because I was invited by others, so I should go and have a look when I am here. By the way, Master, shall we go to the raw material manufacturer tomorrow to take a look? Okay, let's go tomorrow. After thinking about it, Yi Xian nodded. The children should be very interested in going to that place. Chapter 457 Rushing. Okay then, Master, I'll contact them right away. After the discussion, Longling did not waste any time and immediately contacted the supervisor there to inform him of tomorrow's schedule in advance. Ms. Long, is this true? You've already arrived. When the supervisor on the other end of the phone heard the news, he immediately became ecstatic and almost rushed over to pick up Longling and others. Yes, we have already arrived in the Maldives and are planning to go there tomorrow. That's great. Don't worry, Miss Long. We will be ready in advance and await your arrival. Here, after the main person hung up the phone, he was still in a state of excitement and a little nervous. Over at the hotel, when the little ones heard that they were going out the next day, they all ran excitedly to Yi Xian, blinking their eyes curiously and asking, "Dad, where are we going tomorrow? Isn't it a fun place? Dad, tell us about it. Dad, is there much fun there? Are there any delicious foods?" Speaking of going out to play, they immediately turned into curious babies and kept asking Yi Xian questions, wanting to dig up all the information. You little guys, can't you be a little patient? Yi Xian took a sip of tea happily and looked at the girls helplessly. It seemed that they were not affected by the jet lag at all. But Dad, we are really curious. Just tell us. Hee. If Dad hadn't told us, we would have been so excited that we wouldn't have been able to sleep. Yes, if we can't sleep, we won't have the energy to play the next day. So Dad, you better tell us. Yi Xian was speechless at this moment. Wow, these little guys actually learned this trick. Looking at their quirky, curious and playful looks, Yi Xian was stunned for a while. In the end, he really had no choice but to tell the little ones the truth. I'm really impressed by you little guys. Isn't it okay for Dad to tell you? Tomorrow, Dad will take you to visit the raw material production site. To put it simply, it's a breeding farm, but the food raised there is the world's top quality food, the same one we ate last time. The children listened with great interest, and now they understood, and their eyes widened with excitement. That means there is something delicious. Hee, then we can go and get some delicious food ourselves. That's the most fun thing. I'm so excited. When will tomorrow arrive? After they realized where they were going, all kinds of delicious food immediately came to their minds, and they almost drooled. You guys, I don't think you're just curious, you're just greedy. Yi Xian was a little amused by the children's behavior. As expected, they were the most active when it came to food. The next day, amid the shouting of the little ones, everyone got up early, got dressed, and walked out of the hotel. To go to the raw material production site, Yi Xian and others chose to take a car, which was generally convenient. The vehicle is driving on the seaside highway in the Maldives, and the scenery is so beautiful that it seems like a painting reflected in reality. Between the blue sky and the sea, a group of seabirds with white wings are flying high, landing on tree branches from time to time, and then sprinting towards the sea from time to time. The white clouds floating in the sky are also lurking above the smooth blue sea like a mirror. If you look at them for too long, you may really not be able to tell where the sea and the sky are. The children were very excited along the way, admiring the scenery outside the window and babbling. There are so many seabirds over there. They look so cute. Hee, if I had a paintbrush with me now, I would definitely paint all of these. It's so beautiful. It must be so comfortable to live here forever. Listening to the children's innocent and lovely words, Yi Xian hugged Wang Xinyo in his arms and looked at everything around him with a smile on his face. The beautiful Maldives, the lovely children, the intimate beauty, these were the scenes he had only seen in his dreams, and now they have become reality. Looking back on the days when I was alone, even if I saw these sceneries, I would probably just smile and would not have had the same feelings as I have now. Thinking of this, Yi Xian hugged Wang Xinyao's arm a little tighter, as if he was afraid that Wang Xinyao would suddenly run away. However, just when Yi Xian, Wang Xinyao, and the maids were enjoying all this quietly, Yi Shi suddenly discovered that there seemed to be something on the seashore in the distance and couldn't help but look over. Because the distance was a bit far, it was not very clear at first. Yi Shi rubbed his eyes and waited for the vehicle to get closer before he realized that it seemed to be a marine creature. "Dad, what do you see over there?" Yi Shi was a little confused, so she gently tugged at Yi Xian's sleeve and pointed in that direction. "Wait a minute, Xiaoxi, let Dad take a look." Yi Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and looked in the direction Yi Shi pointed. The other girls beside him were also watching. Yi Xia's eyes lit up when he saw this, and he suddenly looked at everyone excitedly and said, "Dad, look, is that a dolphin over there? It looks similar to a dolphin." As Yi Xia said this, Yi Jing and the other girls nodded, with a hint of worry in their eyes. After all, whether it is a dolphin or not, it should stay in the sea. It is very dangerous to sit motionless on the shore. Oh, it's true, but why isn't it moving? Shouldn't it be in the sea? Dad, why don't we go over and take a look? It must be very uncomfortable staying there. I think it's a dolphin. The more I look at it, the more it looks like one. Seeing that the girls all wanted to go over and take a look, Yi Xian thought it was a good idea. After agreeing, he looked at the girls jokingly. "Well, we can go over and take a look, but aren't you afraid? What if it's a shark?" The girls were silent for a while after hearing that. Thinking of the huge shark with its bloody mouth, they still felt a little scared, but they still insisted on going over to take a look. "It's okay, Dad, if it really is a shark, we have to help it." "Yeah, it must be very uncomfortable now. It can't even swim in the sea anymore." "Dad, we're not afraid, let's go." "Well done, Dad supports you." Yi Xian smiled and nodded, then parked the car on the side of the road and quickly headed for the beach with the children. Chapter 458 Reception. When we got over there and took a look, we found that it was actually a dolphin, but the poor little guy was stranded and looked a little weak. It twisted its body and tried to get back into the sea, but the distance was too far and the friction of the sand was too great. No matter how hard it tried, it couldn't move. Ah! It's really a dolphin. It's so pitiful, how did it get here? I don't know. Was it washed up by the seawater? Or was it hit by the waves? Dad, should we quickly find a way to get it back? Seeing this scene, the children became more and more anxious, but they couldn't find any solution, so they could only look at Yi Xian helplessly. Dad, what should we do? The little dolphin can't go back now. Yi Xian touched his chin and thought that the weight of the dolphin was not too heavy, and the children should be able to help. After a rough estimate, Yi Xian felt that it was about right and continued talking to the children. Don't worry, this poor little dolphin needs your help now. Why don't you guys go up and give it a try to see if you can help the little dolphin return to the sea? Yeah. Dad, we get it. The children understood instantly now, puffed their lips, rolled up their sleeves and walked forward to the stranded dolphin. Don't be afraid, little dolphin, we are here to help you get home. You have to stop running around, we ran around everywhere before and made Mom and Dad worried. Your parents must be very worried too. We will help you right now and let you return to the sea where you belong. The children talked as they worked together. Although it was still a bit strenuous at the end, they still managed to lift the dolphin up. Be careful. Don't fall. Seeing this, Wang Xinyao wanted to go forward to support the children, but Yi Xian stopped her. It's okay, Xinyao, the children are all grown up, they can do it. Just now, Yi Xian and the others also heard what the children said to the dolphins. Although it was a bit childish, it was clear from the content that these little guys really understood a lot. Yeah, I believe them too. Wang Xinyao looked at Yi Xian and put her heart at ease. She stood beside Yi Xian and watched the girls. They lifted the dolphin together, all looked towards the sea, and took firm and unsteady steps. Finally, after some effort, the children successfully released the little dolphin back into the sea. After the little guy swayed gently in the water, he suddenly became full of energy again, as if he had been holding his breath for a long time and finally got a chance to breathe. But it did not choose to leave immediately. Instead, it circled in the water for a few weeks, looked up at the little guys, and nodded comically. Although we don't know whether its behavior was an expression of gratitude, the children were quite excited to see this scene. Great! The little dolphin is fine, it can go home. Teacher is right. Dolphins are very smart creatures. They should be thanking us just now, right? Now we can rest assured, but I just hope this little dolphin won't be so careless again in the future. Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao smiled at each other, while Long Ling stood aside with his hands on his hips, waving happily to the children. Come back soon, girls, we have to keep going. Yeah. Sister Long Ling is here. The children then realized that they still had important things to do, and they ran back happily, with joy on their faces. Today, they helped a little dolphin return to the sea, which is definitely something they will remember. After this little episode, Yi Xian took the little guys back to the car and continued to rush towards the source of raw materials. However, since then, the children's attention has shifted from the scenery to the dolphin, and they began to ask Yi Xian curiously. Dad, do you know what happened to that little dolphin just now? Yes, Dad. How did it get from the sea to the shore? The seawater here is obviously very calm, why is that? Yi Xian rubbed the heads of the little ones lovingly, and after thinking for a while, he explained to the children. Ha, you girls are quite studious, but the reason is actually quite complicated. The most common reason is that the little dolphin was affected by the low tide and high tide, so it didn't have time to go back. Don't underestimate the speed of the tide, it happens all the time. Of course, there are other reasons. It's possible that the little dolphin was chasing its own food, so it didn't pay attention and ran aground. It is also possible that it was disturbed by human activities, such as sonar, and it panicked and reached the shore all of a sudden. The children listened carefully to Yi Xian's explanation, thought about it a little in their minds, and felt that it made sense. But this made them even more worried, and they pouted and spoke gloomily. Ah. So that's it. That little dolphin might be in danger. So might the other little dolphins. We can't always meet them. What if no one helps them? Dad, do you have any good ideas? Let's help these dolphins. Forehead. Yi Xian listened to the children's serious words. He hesitated for a while, and then he felt a little amused. He was not a Superman. What's more, these are all natural phenomena. Even if you are a Superman, you can't control them. Okay, stop making things difficult for your dad. What your dad just said is actually a normal thing in nature. Wang Xinyao was also amused by these innocent and cute little ones. She pulled them all to her side and told them more stories about nature. While Yi Xian was still on his way at a leisurely pace, the supervisor at the manufacturer had been waiting outside for quite some time. When he learned last night that Long Ling and his group were coming, he was more or less unable to contain his excitement, and today he stood at the door early in the morning. Although he didn't need to do so, Long Ling was truly their distinguished guest now. The deposit alone for that order shocked all their senior executives. So we must make sure to entertain everyone well today, and nothing can go wrong. Chapter 459 Passion. As time passed, the supervisor himself didn't know how long he had been standing here waiting. However, he had no complaints in his heart. For such a distinguished guest, it would be worth waiting for half a day or even a whole day, let alone a while. Yi Xian and others, who were delayed a little by the dolphins just now, did not make the supervisor wait for long. After a while, the vehicle arrived at the door of the manufacturer at the place of origin. When the supervisor at the door saw the vehicle approaching, he was immediately shocked and immediately rushed forward to greet it. Ms. Long, welcome. Your coming here really makes our humble place shine. After Long Ling got out of the car, the supervisor stepped forward and shook hands with Long Ling enthusiastically, followed by Yi Xian and others who followed. Ms. Long, who are these people? The supervisor looked at Long Ling with some confusion. Although he didn't know Yi Xian's identity, based on his experience of meeting people and things, his temperament alone showed that he was not an ordinary person. Let me introduce you. This is my master Yi Xian, and that is my master's wife Wang Xinyao. They are both my lovely little junior sisters. After hearing this, Long Ling also gave a brief introduction, but the supervisor felt his scalp tingling. Master? The supervisor muttered in his heart, looking at Yi Xian and others in shock, thinking that if Miss Long Ling is such a famous figure, then her master must be. It's Mr. Yi. What a pleasure to meet you. Please come in quickly, we have everything ready. After saying hello, the supervisor didn't feel comfortable letting everyone continue to stand outside the door, so he quickly invited Long Ling, Yi Xian, and others to come in. Wow! What a huge farm and warehouse! So spectacular! Hey, this is much bigger than what we saw last time at the beach. It looks like there must be a lot of delicious food in here. Now the children also became interested. They opened their big watery eyes and looked around, full of curiosity about everything. The supervisor also saw what the children were thinking and smiled warmly at everyone, inviting them to continue walking around. Mr. Yi, can I take you, the children, and Miss Long Ling on a tour? Okay, that's troublesome. Long Ling nodded immediately. It wasn't just the children who were interested in this. Her desire to play was just as great as theirs. Afterwards, under the guidance of the supervisor, Yi Xian and his group continued to walk inside and visited various breeding areas. Everyone, this is our abalone breeding pond. The abalones in it are all top-quality red abalone and black gold abalone. After our careful breeding, the yield is also quite impressive. The abalone here are all top-quality abalone with 2 or 1 head. We will deal with other defective products regularly. While ensuring the quality of the products, we also have strict requirements on the grade of the products. We also have specialized technicians who regulate the temperature and other data of the breeding ponds to keep the abalones in the best climate conditions, which makes the abalones very plump. The supervisor followed Yi Xian and others, introducing the situation in the breeding pond. The little guys also looked inside curiously. Dad! The abalone inside is so big and plump. It looks delicious. It's really great, much better than the abalone we saw in the market. So it's this abalone. I remember we ate it 2 days ago. Seeing this, the maids also started to salivate over the abalone in the pond. Moreover, the abalone was specially sent to Jinling 2 days ago for them to taste, and they still remembered the delicious taste very clearly. Can you guys stop being so greedy? We need to be restrained and elegant. Long Ling glanced at the little guys unhappily, but as soon as he said this, he was choked by the little guys and was speechless. Sister Long Ling is still talking about us. It was clearly Sister Long Ling who ate the most abalone last time. Sister Long Ling refused to admit her mistake after eating it, and even said that we were greedy. You are the same as us. No, Sister Long Ling is even greedier than us. The corners of Long Ling's mouth twitched slightly, and now she couldn't utter a word, and her face was red. Yi Xian was amused by their behavior. He looked at Long Ling and the girls with a smile and said, "Ha ha, I'm telling you girls, stop criticizing each other. I'd say you're all little greedy cats. Dad, to be exact, we should eat more now because Mom said we are still growing." Yi Xia looked at Yi Xian eagerly and spoke seriously, not feeling that there was anything wrong with it. Well, that seems to make sense. Yi Xian didn't know what to say now, and the girls held up their victory signs and continued to run forward. After a while of playing, the supervisor took Yi Xian and others on a tour of the breeding pond and introduced other animals such as Australian lobster, king crab, etc. Then, everyone followed the supervisor into the warehouse, where there were a wide variety of ingredients, which almost dazzled the children. Mr. Yi, Miss Long Ling, this is our warehouse, where we store some other raw materials. Please follow me. These are packaged and refrigerated caviar from the best sturgeons we have here. They are the best quality. These are gooseneck barnacles. They are the best batch left after we processed and collected them. Their appearance is impeccable and the preservation techniques are also the most advanced. Look, the ones here are all dried abalones that we have processed. Both the variety and the size of the fresh abalones are absolutely top-notch. Seeing this, Long Ling and Yi Xian couldn't help but nodded. This was indeed the place where top-quality food ingredients were produced. Whether it was the breeding pond or the warehouse, what was stored were truly top-notch products. Generally speaking, these things are priced at sky-high prices in the raw material market, and are specially supplied to top hotels and restaurants. Some of them are auction-level items that cannot be bought even if you have money. No matter where the auction is held in the world, they will cause quite a stir. Now that we have finished touring the warehouse here, we have almost finished visiting the place of origin, and the supervisor sincerely invites everyone to stay here for lunch. Mr. Yi, Miss Long Ling, please have lunch here. We will definitely have the best ingredients to entertain you, and the chefs here will definitely not let you down. Okay. Then let's have lunch here. Yi Xian smiled and nodded. The supervisor was delighted and then bent down, made a gesture of invitation, and spoke enthusiastically. Chapter 460 Underwater World. Great, Mr. Yi, please come this way, I'll take you to the restaurant. Great. Now we can eat something delicious. The little guys licked their lips and then trotted out. Yi Xian followed with Bai Zhishi and Long Ling. At noon in the restaurant, the ingredients that the manager prepared to entertain Yi Xian and others were all the best of the best, carefully cooked by the top chefs here. Wow! It's delicious. It's really fresh. Dad, you should eat more too, these ingredients are so delicious. It smells so good, the chefs here are so good. The little ones tasted the delicacies on the table and felt that they were extremely delicious. Every bite was accompanied by a sweet aftertaste and a long-lasting aftertaste. The supervisor stood up and toasted Yi Xian and others, and at the same time made a promise and patted his chest heavily. Mr. Yi, Ms. Long Ling, please rest assured. We can guarantee that there will be absolutely no problems with the subsequent supply. We will continue to guarantee the quality and supply as always. We will deliver the goods to you whenever you need them. I'd like to offer you a toast. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to visit us. We will definitely not let you down. After saying this, the supervisor raised the wine in his glass and drank it all. Yi Xian and Long Ling also nodded. The little guys next to them didn't care about all this. They just continued to enjoy the food on the table. Finally, they lay down comfortably on the chairs, feeling so full that they couldn't be fuller. After eating, the little guys couldn't sit still at all and started wandering around the restaurant, and finally stopped next to the diving suits hanging on the wall. Hey! What kind of dress is this? It looks so interesting. I know, it's a diving suit. Diving suit? Can we explore the underwater world wearing this? The girls were all a little excited at this time, thinking about the natural scenery under the sea. They were full of yearning in their hearts. The supervisor over there just happened to be leading Yi Xian and others over. Seeing the children looking at the diving suits curiously, he walked up and asked with a smile. Children, do you want to dive? Think. The children answered in unison that they were very interested in diving. The supervisor nodded upon hearing this and immediately began to introduce. Well, that's great. The water here is very clear and beautiful. We can see many cute little fish and beautiful corals. Now the girls could no longer contain their excitement and just wanted to go swimming in the water. They all came to Yi Xian and raised their little heads to look at him. Dad, can we go scuba diving? We haven't dived yet, I really want to go down and take a look. Dad, just take us there. Okay? Okay, Dad promises you. Yi Xian smiled and nodded. It would be a pity not to dive in the Maldives. Besides, the children were also very interested in it, which was of course good. However, after agreeing, before the children started celebrating, Yi Xian changed the subject and continued speaking to the children. But before that, you all have to listen carefully to what Dad is going to say next, so that you can learn how to swim, okay? Yeah. Dad, we must listen carefully. The children nodded obediently, snuggled into Yi Xian's arms affectionately, and listened to Yi Xian talking about the essentials of diving. Next, Yi Xian explained to the children the use of diving suits, including how to use breathing tubes and regulators, how to check equipment, etc. In particular, the children were taught how to quickly deal with stress when encountering danger, as well as several simple hand gestures in the water. Just now, Dad told you a lot, you must remember them all, they are all very important. Secondly, Dad knows that you are all brave children. No matter what happens in the sea, you must stay calm and pay attention to your breathing. After you go into the water, you may feel a little uncomfortable, but that's normal. Don't panic. Dad will do his best to protect you. Yeah. We got it, Dad. The children listened very carefully, and they were not afraid at all when Yi Xian followed them into the water. Because in their perception, as long as their father is there, they will be safe. Mr. Yi, you really have a lot of experience in diving. When the supervisor at the site heard Yi Xian explain all the professional knowledge about diving, he was impressed and gave Yi Xian a thumbs up. Ha, it's just a hobby. Yi Xian smiled when he saw this, and then he took everyone to the small attic on the other side to change into diving suits. The girls came out of the small attic wearing diving suits, looked at each other excitedly, and ran towards the sea. Girls, are you ready? Dad, we can't wait. Yi Xian also followed the little girls wearing a diving suit, and then took them into the water. With a few splash sounds, the children couldn't wait to jump in, as if they had suddenly separated themselves from the isolated world on the water and entered a whole new world. The scenery under the sea is a brand new experience. The sunlight shines down from overhead, illuminating the seabed. Those colorful fishes are swimming freely in the sea, surrounded by the strange and beautiful coral reefs. The children excitedly followed Yi Xian, looking at all the beautiful scenery on the seabed. Although they couldn't speak, their excited expressions could still be seen through the diving goggles. They sometimes circle around the coral reefs, sometimes dive to the bottom of the sea to take a look, and often swim behind schools of fish. During this process, the children did not forget to collect seafood. They found a lot of scallops and conchs, and even a big lobster hiding in a small cave in the coral reef. This underwater diving trip not only brought endless joy to the children, but also allowed them to experience the deep and beautiful underwater world from such a real perspective for the first time. After a short while, the children caught a lot of seafood. They didn't feel tired at all. They took some of the caught seafood ashore and put them there first. It seemed like they had endless energy. By the time the children felt tired, a long time had passed. However, their interest in diving and catching seafood far outweighed their physical fatigue, and some of them were still reluctant to stop. Chapter 461 What happened? Seeing this, Yixian felt helpless, but this was not a good thing, so he had to remind the children. Alright kids, that's enough for today, we can't go on any further. But Dad, I still want to play. No, this will harm your body. There will be another chance in the future. Okay then, we got it. After Yixian's persuasion, the children finally stopped and returned to the yacht. However, this diving trip was also very beneficial. Yixian and the children caught a lot of fresh seafood, enough for 2 large buckets. Mr. Yi, did you and the children salvage all this? The supervisor couldn't help but be surprised when he came over and saw this scene. Wow, this is just diving, and you can catch so many things at the same time. Yes, we'll have to trouble the ship's chef to help us deal with it. Yixian smiled and nodded, and the supervisor immediately agreed. Okay, Mr. Yi, I'll take it to the kitchen and let the chefs prepare it for you. After that, the supervisor led his men to carry the 2 large buckets of seafood to the kitchen. The chefs knew that these were the guests who needed to be processed, so they put in all their efforts and did not dare to delay at all. Back to Yixian, he has changed the clothes of the children and is now standing at the bow of the boat with them, playing and enjoying the scenery on the sea. The yacht is sailing on the sea with great power, and facing the sea breeze, it feels like riding the wind in waves. The wind carries the unique scent of the Maldives waters, which makes people feel relaxed and happy. If you are not careful, you will lose your body and mind in this picturesque sea. Since the children had the experience of diving, they have become more obsessed with and yearning for the ocean. They gaze at the surrounding scenery with their innocent and lovely eyes, and exclaim in amazement from time to time. It's so beautiful. The sea is so mysterious and beautiful. I really want to explore it again. I suddenly envy the adventurers in the cartoons. If I were them, I would definitely travel to all the oceans in the world. Hee, we will definitely have a chance when we grow up, don't you think so, Dad? Listening to the children's conversation, Yixian smiled happily and nodded gently. Dad believes in you. You will definitely be able to do it in the future. Dad also supports you. Yeah. Daddy is the best. Then we must grow up quickly. But it's really slow. It feels like a long time has passed, but we are still just a few little ones. When Long Ling and Wang Xinyao, who were standing nearby, covered their mouths and smiled, thinking that these little guys were really too cute. However, while the family here was chatting and sightseeing comfortably on the bow, there was also a luxury cruise ship sailing on the sea in the distance. On this cruise ship, a supervisor is enjoying the scenery with a glass of fine red wine in his hand. It can be considered a real enjoyment. It's worthy of being a resort sea area. No matter how many times I see it, it still feels so beautiful. After sighing, the supervisor probably felt that seeing with his eyes was not satisfying enough, so he simply picked up the telescope and looked around. As the telescope and line of sight moved, the supervisor also saw the yacht where Yixian was in the distance, but he just glanced over it and continued to look elsewhere. After all, there are quite a few yachts in this area, so it's nothing strange to see a few occasionally. But just with this quick glance, the supervisor suddenly felt something was wrong, and he carefully recalled the man he had just seen on the bow of the yacht. Could this be that one? The supervisor was suddenly shocked and cold sweat broke out on his head. He looked back with trembling hands. It was not a big deal to just take a look, but when the supervisor saw Yixian clearly who was playing with the children at the bow, his eyes widened instantly and the telescope fell to the deck with a snap. It is no exaggeration to say that he was almost paralyzed by the scene before him. This Mr. Yi? The supervisor opened his mouth in a daze, and muttered stutteringly, ignoring the telescope that had fallen on the deck. His memory was instantly pulled back to a few years ago. Mr. Yi had been here before. Of course, this is not coming to this place, but just coming to this area. What really frightened him and left a lasting impression on him was that almost all the dignitaries in the area went to pay him a visit in groups. That's right, it's a visit, no matter what kind of status these dignitaries had here before, and how many people respected them. In front of this person, they did not put on airs at all, and were even more cautious when paying their respects, fearing that they would say the wrong thing, and their attitude was extremely humble. Although he is now a supervisor, in that kind of situation, he is the last one in the group. All the dignitaries who came to pay their respects at the scene, even if you pick any one of them randomly, are well-known figures in this area. In such an occasion, I am nothing at all. I am just lucky enough to be here with my boss. That was how he saw Mr. Yi again. His arrogant demeanor in every move left a deep impression on him. So even though I only saw him once just now, I recognized him instantly. I never expected that such a world-shattering person would come to the Maldives again. No, I have to call the boss right away. After slowing down his breathing and calming his thoughts, the supervisor slapped his head and hurriedly took out his phone. Beep, beep. However, over here, several bosses were in a meeting, and no matter how many times the supervisor called, the call was not answered. This made the supervisor a little anxious, but he did not panic. He quickly came to the cruise ship's cabin and spoke to the captain at the helm without delay. Quick! We're going back immediately, let's go now. Boss, what's going on? The captain and the two first mates looked at the supervisor with confusion, wondering what happened today to this supervisor who was usually decisive, calm, and composed. He looked so panic-stricken, he must have encountered something. It's too late for me to explain now, let's return immediately. But the supervisor had no time to explain to them and just wanted to go back to the shore to find the boss immediately. Ah. Okay. After hesitating for a while, the captain and others did not hesitate, and immediately adjusted the direction and drove back at full speed. Here, after returning to the shore, the supervisor got off the boat and immediately rushed to where the boss was. He knew the current situation well and could not waste even a second, because that was Mr. Yi. Chapter 462. Who are you waiting for? At the same time, in the conference room, several CEOs sat upright, conducting a meeting with serious faces, discussing issues of cooperative development. However, just when the discussion of this topic reached a heated stage, the door of the conference room was suddenly pushed open, and the conversation of the CEOs was abruptly interrupted. The person who came was none other than the supervisor who had just been in a hurry to return. His head and face were covered with sweat, and it was obvious that he had just run here. However, this sudden intrusion made all the bosses unhappy. The meeting was suddenly interrupted, and everyone was furious. The chief executive who was in the lead was also holding his eyes, looking at his supervisor with a puzzled look on his face. He was completely stunned. What's the matter with you? What are you in such a hurry for? This supervisor has been by his side for a long time, and he knows his temper well. He is definitely not such an impetuous and anxious person. But the meeting was in progress, why did he suddenly rush in? Did something big happen? Boss, something big has happened. I just saw Mr. Yi on the sea. Mr. Yi? Upon hearing this, the boss's face suddenly changed and he hurriedly asked again. The Mr. Yi you are talking about, is he the one you followed me to visit last time? Yes, boss, I saw it absolutely clearly, there is absolutely no mistake. The supervisor nodded frantically and continued to add. I called you but couldn't get through, so I returned immediately. I was right. This time it shouldn't just be Mr. Yi and his family are here too. Boom. Suddenly, after the supervisor finished speaking, all the bosses stood up as if they had been electrocuted. Is this true? They were no longer in the mood to continue the meeting. They all stared at the supervisor with eyes wide open in disbelief. My dear bosses, I promise, this is absolutely true. The supervisor promised again, and the bosses here saw his expression and knew he was not joking, and they were all shocked. They are not unaware of what happened a few years ago, and they can still remember the scene vividly. It can be said that there may be people, perhaps many, who are above them in status, but no one of them is qualified to be compared with Yixian. Thinking back to what happened that time, everyone was surprised and shocked. Such an identity actually came to them, and they didn't know yet. They neither went to greet them nor did they do anything they should have done. What a huge sin this was. If they were really caught by Mr. Yi, they would not know how to explain it. What's going on? Why are you suddenly so serious? While the bosses here were in a daze and horror, several young bosses sitting next to them looked at them in confusion, having no idea what was going on. Who is Mr. Yi? He sounds like a Chinese, right? I'm a little confused. Why are you so nervous? I haven't even heard of this person. Who is it? Is it that mysterious? After looking at each other, they began to ask other CEOs, and were very puzzled by their performance. Alas, you are still too young and have no idea who this Mr. Yi is. The leading boss sighed, with shock still lingering in his eyes, and explained to the few people. Let me tell you this. A few years ago, Mr. Yi also came to the Maldives. That time, all the dignitaries of the Maldives were there. You may not believe this, but from the moment we welcomed them to the moment we saw them off, no one complained, and their attitude was more respectful than you can imagine. So for a person like this, you should think carefully about what kind of identity he has to be able to be worshipped by so many people whose status is far higher than yours. After the boss explained this, several young bosses were speechless, with the corners of their mouths twitching violently. They had never imagined that there could be such a person. Although the boss did not make it clear what Yi Xian's identity was, they were not fools and could clearly sense it from the atmosphere at the moment. This was definitely an existence that was far above them, perhaps a terrifying existence that they couldn't even see the end of when they looked up. Okay, now let's get down to business. Where can we find Mr. Yi? After the chief boss finished speaking, he looked at his own manager and asked about Yi Xian's whereabouts. Now it has become meaningless whether they are having a meeting or not. The most important thing right now is to find Yi Xian. Well, how about we try at the Grand Hotel? The supervisor touched his chin. He had been in a hurry to come back to report the matter, and he was not too sure where Yi Xian was going. He thought that for the time being he could only try his luck in the hotel. Without further delay, let's set off. The leading boss nodded, thinking that he could only go to the hotel to have a look, and then he started walking out the door. Of course, the other CEOs didn't continue to sit there, and even the young CEOs just now hurriedly followed them out. Apart from anything else, they were also very curious about such a person. After a while, they arrived at the Vera private island hotel where Yi Xian was staying, and found the lobby manager here as soon as possible. Hello, CEOs. Why didn't you tell us in advance that you were coming? We haven't even prepared anything yet. The lobby manager was also shocked when he saw these CEOs coming together. After all, their identities were not simple, not to mention that they came together. It doesn't matter. We have more important things to find out here. Is Mr. Yi Xuanye staying here now? The leading boss waved his hand and asked about Yi Xian's news anxiously. Please wait a moment, I will check it out. The lobby manager was also frightened when he saw this, and quickly went to the computer next to him to start searching. Yes, several bosses, Mr. Yi is now staying in our hotel and has checked in at the hotel's private villa room. Very good. Several bosses were delighted when they heard this, and then they walked out of the hotel lobby and came to the door. The lobby manager was confused, not knowing what was going on. He saw several bosses standing at the door, with respectful looks on their faces, as if they were waiting for someone. Oh my God? How is this possible? Such a weird scene made the lobby manager's scalp tingle immediately. He couldn't understand what was going on at all. Chapter 463 Give Up. But the status of these bosses was too high, so it was not convenient for me to go over and ask them anything. I could only turn around and quickly go to the boss's office and tell the hotel owner about this matter. Boss, those CEOs are coming. Huh? Why don't you invite him in? What are you looking for me for? The boss was stunned when he heard this, but he quickly stood up and looked at the lobby manager seriously. He knew who they were as soon as he heard them. They were definitely distinguished guests. No, boss. I was thinking about entertaining them just now, but after they asked for information about one of the guests, they all stood at the door without saying a word. The lobby manager quickly explained what had just happened. Even now, he still couldn't understand what those bosses had done. Hiss. Are you telling the truth? The boss took a deep breath and narrowed his eyes, feeling equally surprised and suspicious. It's real, boss. Go out and take a look. They are still standing at the door. Okay. I'll be there now. Seeing the supervisor's serious expression, the hotel owner could no longer sit still and quickly followed him out. Oh my God. What on earth is going on? However, when the boss saw the scene with his own eyes, he was completely dumbfounded and rubbed his eyes frantically. Of course he knew the identities of these CEOs, and therefore wondered why they were standing there. And just looking at the posture and attitude, it seems like they are waiting to welcome some VIP, and a very important VIP at that. If this happened to anyone else, he would probably just laugh it off, or at most be a little curious. But these people are different. Their identities are very high. If they all do this, then what kind of person is the one who was waiting? The more he thought about it, the more surprised he was. The boss could no longer sit still and quickly walked over to several CEOs, asking curiously, "Boss, I'm sorry for not welcoming you. I'm really honored that you can come to my hotel. By the way, everyone, what are you doing? Are you waiting for someone?" Faced with the boss who suddenly came over, several executives still did not say anything. They just glanced at him briefly and were too lazy to pay attention to him. After all, the most important person at the moment is Mr. Yi. The others can be said to be nothing, so how could they arouse their concern? What on earth is going on? The boss scratched his head and was even more confused at this moment. They looked so serious and pretended not to hear what he said. What was going on? Just as he was becoming more and more confused, Yi Xian and the others were also tired from playing on the yacht and were waiting for dinner in the restaurant. The chefs served the cooked seafood one by one, and each one could be called a top-notch delicacy. The freshest ingredients, coupled with their superb cooking skills, make the seafood taste and look its best. The little guys were very excited at this time, drooling at the sight of the seafood on the table. This is not just because they are greedy. Many of these seafoods are caught from the sea by themselves, so of course they are very interested. Moreover, they were even more excited to taste the delicious food that they had worked hard for. Wow! It's delicious, so fresh. It feels so good to eat seafood that you caught yourself. It's so delicious, we caught it all ourselves. Long Ling looked at this scene and laughed, then gently patted the little guys' heads. You guys, you're usually so conceited, but why are you eating so conceited today? Sister Long Ling, you don't understand. We salvaged all of this ourselves. That's right, this is what we fished out with Dad. Sister Long Ling, don't you think this is a very fulfilling thing? The girls pouted and looked at Long Ling, somewhat unconvinced. Their stubborn little mouths were so cute. Alright, you guys, hurry up and eat. Yi Xian looked at Long Ling and the girls with a helpless smile, which made them calm down and continue to enjoy the food seriously. However, it must be said that the chef's cooking skills here are indeed top-notch. Even Yi Xian couldn't stop nodding his head as he tasted the food. They used the simplest and most plain cooking methods, without too many complicated operations, but they perfectly released the freshness, fragrance and sweetness of these seafood. Whether it's salt-baked, charcoal-grilled, or pan-fried sashimi, the seafood cooked in each way is unique. The children and Long Ling enjoyed the meal very much. After a while, their stomachs became round. Comfortable, so full. Today was great, we had a lot of fun and ate a lot of delicious food. I told you master that we didn't make a mistake, but you still didn't believe me. Long Ling straightened her back proudly, but Yi Xian glared at her unhappily. I know, but we should go back now. Looking at the current time, Yi Xian knew that the little ones were very tired today, so he prepared to take them back to rest early. Got it, master. Let's go back then. Long Ling stuck out her tongue, glanced at the time, and immediately knew that it was time to leave. After the discussion, Yi Xian saw everyone and the girls preparing to leave, but the supervisor behind him quickly called them and trotted over. Mr. Yi, Miss Long Ling, please wait a moment. Are we leaving now? Well, I have almost finished my tour today. Thank you for your hospitality today. Yi Xian nodded, and whenever something happened, he would thank the supervisor. Mr. Yi, please don't be polite. It's our honor that you and Miss Long Ling can come here. We have prepared some gifts for Mr. Yi and Miss Long Ling. You must accept them. As soon as he finished speaking, other staff members around him quickly brought in 2 large boxes filled with various ingredients and raw materials. And they are all carefully selected from top shelves, and can truly be said to be the best of the best. Thank you, we're welcome. Long Ling smiled playfully, and before Yi Xian could say anything, she nodded and agreed. Only then did the supervisor feel relieved. Helping to put all the things in the back of the car, the supervisor and other senior executives watched Yi Xian and his team leave until they could no longer see the taillights of the car. Chapter 464, Much More Friendly. After getting in the car, Yi Xian and others did not go anywhere else. They drove back to the hotel immediately, but saw many people waiting at the door. Master, why are there so many people at the entrance of this hotel? Yes, Dad, those are uncles wearing suits and ties. Are they waiting for Dad? It looks so grand. Before Long Ling and the girls got off the car, they pointed at Yi Xian and looked over. When Yi Xian saw it, he was also stunned. It is true that I have impressions of several of these CEOs. But this time when they came here, apart from the raw material manufacturer just now, I didn't tell anyone else. With doubts in his heart, Yi Xian got out of the car with the girls and walked straight to the hotel entrance. This is really Mr. Yi. When the bosses at the door saw Yi Xian getting out of the car and walking over, they all exclaimed and their eyes widened. This is not someone else, this is the real Mr. Yi. They had such a deep impression of Yi Xian that they knew he was not fake after just one glance, and they quickly stood up to greet him. Mr. Yi! You are here! Oh! It's great that you can come. We all missed you so much. But why didn't you tell us you were coming? We didn't even go to greet you, Mr. Yi. This is so inconsiderate. At this time, the several bosses who gathered around Yi Xian had excitement and deep respect in their eyes. They greeted Yi Xian politely. Normally, they were big shots who held their heads high, but today, in front of Yi Xian, they even lowered their backs by 3 points. What is going on? The hotel owner who was watching from the side was completely stunned. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he would never have believed that these CEOs gathered together and were actually respectful to a young man to the core. Then, the other party's identity has reached a level that I can't even imagine. This is so sudden. How did you know I was in the Maldives? Yi Xian looked at the bosses and nodded, then asked in confusion about the reason. Ah. It's like this, Mr. Yi. My supervisor was out at sea a while ago and had the honor of seeing you on a yacht, so we came here to inquire about you. The boss in charge quickly explained the cause and effect of the matter, which made Yi Xian laugh and cry. Ah, this is really a coincidence. At this point, the hotel owner's expression froze, and his legs were shaking uncontrollably. Who on earth is this person? How about this, since everyone is here, let's go in and sit down. We can even sit down and have some tea. After Yi Xian understood everything, he enthusiastically invited all the bosses to come in, which made them ecstatic and flattered. Okay, Mr. Yi. Thank you for your help. Mr. Yi is so polite. We are so sorry that we didn't greet you right away. Thank you, Mr. Yi. Mr. Yi is so kind. Everyone nodded in agreement. They had never thought it would be like this before. They thought to themselves that Mr. Yi was much more friendly than before. After all, if this had happened before, it would have been absolutely impossible. In their impression, Mr. Yi is always so calm, his face is as peaceful as a lake, and even a little cold. But when they met Mr. Yi again a few years later, they felt a strange sense of affinity. It seems like everything has changed, and yet nothing has changed. Dad, you know all these uncles. Have you been to the Maldives before? At this time, Yi Jing looked at several bosses, then asked Yi Xian in a baby voice, blinking her little eyes curiously. The other little ones also looked at Yi Xian in confusion, thinking that their dad seemed to have been everywhere. Dad came here once before, but that was many years ago. Yi Xian nodded lovingly, his eyes full of tenderness and kindness as he looked at the children. This scene made several CEOs stare in a trance, and they were horrified in their hearts. These little girls are actually Mr. Yi's daughters? No wonder they felt that Mr. Yi's change this time was drastic. This was more or less related to the appearance of these little girls. For a moment, the bosses couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. It turns out that no matter how strong and cold a man is, he will always show his gentle side after having such a cute child. While they were still thinking about it, Yi Xian had already led them to the private villa room and invited them to sit on the sofa in the living room. Then, Yi Xian started to make tea. This was the tea he brought from home, and it was also the tea he often drank. As the hot water brewed the tea leaves, the room was immediately filled with an extremely tempting aroma. The bosses felt delighted after just a light sniff. It feels as if all the limbs have been stretched repeatedly, and breathing has become a lot lighter. The bosses were still savoring the aroma of tea. The tea here was almost brewed, so Yi Xian poured a cup for each of them. Have some tea, everyone. Don't be polite now that you're here. Mr. Yi, this is unacceptable. Why are you pouring tea for us? We can't afford this. Mr. Yi, you are so polite. You can't be like this with your status. Oh, thank you, Mr. Yi, we are really troublesome to you. When they saw Yi Xian pouring tea for them, several bosses were stunned. The feeling in their hearts could no longer be described as flattered, it was full of shock. It's okay, have some tea. Yi Xian waved his hand indifferently, then sat down with a cup of tea. The bosses were no longer vague. They could hardly resist just smelling the fragrance of the tea just now, not to mention that the tea was right in their hands now. After taking a sip, the eyes of several CEOs suddenly lit up, and they felt the fragrance of tea compressed and exploded in their mouths, as if their entire throats were moistened by spring rain. The feeling of being bathed in the spring breeze and sitting in a sea of tea, brought by just a simple sip, made them amazed in their hearts, and they couldn't help but sigh. This is indeed Mr. Ye's tea, it tastes so good. I have to say, this is something that is simply divine. We are really blessed by Mr. Toy. Yes, if it weren't for Mr. Yi, we wouldn't be able to taste such exquisite tea. Chapter 465. What's so fun? Yi Xian smiled when he heard that, but didn't pay much attention to it. Instead, he asked several bosses about other things. As long as it tastes good, how's your business going lately? Thanks to Mr. Yi's concern, our business is pretty good. Yes, everything is going well. We were just having a meeting to discuss a cooperative project. Business is indeed good. Compared with previous years, the progress is quite impressive. Hearing Yi Xian's words, several CEOs nodded. With the unique conditions and endless tourism resources in the Maldives, it is indeed not difficult to do business well. By the way, Mr. Yi, are you here for tourism this time? Is there anything we can help you with? After talking about his own situation, several bosses immediately asked about Yi Xian's trip to the Maldives. Yes, I brought the kids here for a trip, and I also visited the raw material manufacturers here. Hearing several people asking about it, Yi Xian took a sip of tea and talked a little bit about it. Oh. So that's the case. Mr. Yi, you didn't inform us earlier so we can show our hospitality as hosts. That's right, Mr. Yi, you really came here with great difficulty, but we didn't even know about it and didn't go to greet you. Mr. Yi, we learned about your visit to the Maldives a little hastily, so I only brought some small gifts today. Please don't despise me. After saying that, several bosses quickly took out the gifts they had prepared and presented them to Yi Xian one by one. Mr. Yi, this is a black card in my hand. It allows you to spend money for free without any limit in the entire Maldives. Please don't be disgusted and just accept it. Mr. Yi, here is a set of pink diamond jewelry made by the European Master Gunnet. I think it's just right for your wife. And Mr. Yi, this is the ownership of Yuasha Island west of the Maldives. Everything on the manor is complete and has not been occupied yet. Please accept it. All of a sudden, the bosses took out all kinds of gifts, but these gifts were all of inestimable value. When Long Ling, who was standing next to him, saw this scene, he was completely stunned and his jaw almost dropped. Wow, it's okay to give away black cards and jewelry, but this is an island and a manor, isn't it a bit exaggerated? Oh my god, the master is so powerful, he is so powerful that he can reach the sky and the earth. It turns out that she thought she was pretty strong, but compared to her master, she was nothing. Afterwards, the bosses also presented the things they had prepared, looking at Yi Xian with sincerity, hoping that Yi Xian would accept them. Although these things are valuable, they are worth it as long as I can establish a good relationship with Mr. Yi. So let alone these, even if they were given more expensive things, they wouldn't even blink an eye. Yi Xian did not say anything at this time, but looked at Long Ling. Long Ling instantly understood, coughed softly, and forced himself to suppress the excitement in his heart, and accepted the gifts on behalf of Yi Xian. The bosses were suddenly ecstatic. Mr. Yi's acceptance of their gifts meant, in a way, that he truly recognized them. After receiving the things, Yi Xian stopped looking at Long Ling and turned his head to look at several bosses and said with a smile, "It's just right that you're here this time, so I can have someone to ask. I brought my kids here to play, what fun things are there? Can you recommend some to me?" All the bosses were listening attentively, and when they heard Yi Xian's questions, they immediately gave answers. Well, there are still many fun places in the Maldives. The most important thing is the scenery here. I never get tired of it. And Mr. Yi, you can take the children to participate in some marine sports, such as diving. The scenery under the sea is also great. Mr. Yi, we also have a lot of ethnic performances here, you can also take your children to have a look. After hearing this, Yi Xian thought about it for a while, but finally shook his head with a wry smile. Well, what you said does sound interesting, but I've already played it with my children. I see. As a result, several CEOs were temporarily at a loss, but they were still brainstorming. After a moment of silence, one of the CEOs suddenly slapped his head, remembered that there was another good place to go, and immediately became excited. Oh, by the way, Mr. Yi, I suddenly remembered that we have a sand sculpture exhibition in a few days. I think it would be a good idea for you to take the children there. Well, a sand sculpture exhibition, that is possible. Yi Xian nodded, thinking that these little ones really like to play with sand, so it wouldn't be a problem to take them to have a look. Moreover, this serious sand sculpture exhibition has many good works of art. Taking the children to visit is also a good place to broaden their horizons and stimulate their imagination. After all, at their age, these elements from art and creation are as important as churches and textbooks. When several bosses saw Yi Xian agreed, they looked at each other, instantly understood each other's meaning, and spoke to Yi Xian again. Mr. Yi, if you want to go there, please remember to inform us. Yes, we will introduce it to you when the time comes. That would be the best. Mr. Yi, we will definitely come over then and take you around. Yi Xian did not refuse the enthusiasm of the bosses and nodded slightly. Good. After that, the matter was considered settled. After the bosses drank some tea, they felt embarrassed to continue disturbing them. Seeing that the time was almost up, they said goodbye and left. At the same time, Long Ling was watching the little guys playing with great interest. Suddenly he grinned and said happily, "You little guys seem to have gotten a lot tan recently. TSK, you even seem to have gained a lot of weight." Ah? Sister Long Ling, what are you talking about? Although they were still little girls, the children were all unhappy when they heard this. They all loved beauty in their hearts, so how could they listen to Long Ling's words? Sister Long Ling is a liar. Sister Long Ling is a big bad guy. That's right. We are all so good looking, how could we become darker and fatter? I don't care, Sister Long Ling is trying to scare us. The children were all unwilling. They pouted angrily and glared at Long Ling fiercely. Seeing this, Long Ling was even happier. Instead of stopping, she continued to grin at them. Hoo-hoo! I, your sister Long Ling, never lie to you. If you don't believe me, just look in the mirror or weigh yourself on the scale. Humph! Let's go now. We must prove to Sister Long Ling that we are still fine. Chapter 466, Hardship. After saying that, Long Ling's words aroused the fighting spirit of several little guys. They quickly found the fitting mirror in the room, stood in front of the mirror and looked at themselves. These little ones all looked more panicked than each other. They were afraid that they had really become darker, and they kept looking at the mirror. But I don't know if it's a psychological effect or if they really have turned darker, but after seeing this, I opened my mouth in disbelief. Ah! It seems like we have really turned dark. No way. I don't look as white as before. I'm not happy. Why did we become dark? It's so unfair. Looking at themselves in the mirror, the little guys had their heads bigger than each other. They pinched their little faces anxiously and suddenly felt that they looked ugly. But if it was just that, they were not convinced, so they found the scale in the room and started taking turns weighing themselves. However, at this moment, several little ones couldn't help but cover their eyes. The cold numbers on the scale reminded them that they really got fat. How is it possible? Have we gained so much weight in just these few days? What should we do now? We've all gotten fatter. Ah! I thought Sister Long Ling was lying to us, but now it's true. At this moment, the little ones simply didn't know how to describe their feelings. They hung their heads and became more depressed. Thinking about their skin that has become several shades darker and the weight they have gained from eating and drinking too much, the more they think about it, the more they cannot accept it. After mumbling and complaining in a baby voice for a while, these little guys ran to Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao and started to complain in a wronged manner. Mom and Dad. We are being bullied. Sister Long Ling said we are dark and fat. Yi Jing, who was in the lead, walked forward aggressively, shocking Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao who were drinking tea and chatting. Don't take it to heart. Your sister Long Ling likes to tease you. You know that. Yi Xian wiped his sweat and hurriedly tried to comfort the children, but at this point, it didn't work at all. Just now, these little guys have looked at themselves in the mirror and measured their weight, and now this has become an indisputable fact. But Dad. We just saw it. Sister Long Ling didn't lie to us. This is real. What should we do, Dad? We are all ugly now. We have all become ugly ducklings. Ah! I don't want to get darker. I don't want to get fat either, but why are we so unlucky? All of a sudden, the little ones who came to Yi Xian and Wang Xinyao started wailing. Although this was a bloody fact, they could not accept it, and did not want to accept it. Yi Xian fell into silence when he heard that. Long Ling, who was standing by, was drooling. He was about to leave on tiptoe, but was given a fierce look by Yi Xian. Girl, can't you find anything to do? Yi Xian was really at a loss whether to laugh or cry at this time. These little guys were already difficult to deal with, and Long Ling was still making trouble. Master, actually I just wanted to tease them. Long Ling poked her fingers at herself, pouting her lips, looking innocent. Oh, I'm really convinced. Yi Xian smiled bitterly and shook his head, but the little guys beside him were still wailing. Mom and Dad, please help us find a solution, otherwise we will become uglier and uglier. I don't know what to do now. I'm really screwed. Dad, we can lose weight, but how can we quickly whiten our skin? How about this, kids? Dad and Mom will go out and see if they can think of a solution for you. You guys stay here for now. Facing the children's requests for help and complaints, Yi Xian could neither comfort them nor answer them. In the end, even he and Wang Xinyao couldn't stand it anymore and had to find an excuse to leave the room. After walking out, Yi Xian held Wang Xinyao's hand and finally breathed a sigh of relief. His ears finally quieted down. This made both of them sigh. It was good to have a few little girls around, but if they started to make trouble, no one could stand it. These girls, they are so young, how come they are so conceited? Wang Xinyao rubbed her temples in distress. Thinking back to the scene just now, she felt like getting angry and laughing at the same time. Xinyao, do you think they follow you or me? Yi Xian next to her also